Sports Radio 560 WQAM Miami Fort Lauderdale presents The Neil Rogers Show.
You
to
heard.
talk to Neil, call 567-0560, toll free for Dade and Broward, or pound 560 on your cell phone. The opinions of Neil, his guests, callers, or anyone else on the show do not necessarily reflect those of WQAM, Beasley Reed Acquisitions, or the Beasley Broadcast Group. Now, Neil Rogers on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
What is a Buffalo Bill?
Josie,
Oi!
talking on a sports show, trying to be macho. Your voice sounds just like a 7-year-old girl, a little sports whole show. What else are you there for? Josie, talking like a baby who needs a little training. Why can't you understand? You don't sound like a man. Remove the rubber band that chokes your scrotum. Josie, you're lucky management don't care. 'Cause Geldy, you don't belong there on the air. And Geldy, the sports can wait till your voice cracks. 'Cause anyone who sounds like that should find another job. And they should only take you back when both your BBs drop. Oh, Geldy, when you gonna grow up? You make us wanna throw up. You silly squeaky fool. Go to broadcasting school. Your prepubescent voice makes you sound like a huss. You're a huss.
Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to think over the 400 years that I've been on the air, have I ever heard anybody whose voice annoys me more, who just absolutely drives nails into my brain?
Come on, Neil, you can do better than that.
Yeah, maybe the Sheik. Was he ever really on the air, or did he just audition him? Or can't you remember that far back?
He was on the air.
He actually had a show on the old ID? Not for very long, though.
No.
Of course, none of those shows were on very long. He was on almost as long as Greg, but not quite. Yeah, the Sheik was right in there. He was, oh, man. But, Geldy, I'm coming to work this morning. I'm driving along, singing a song, just kind of oblivious to everything that's going on in the world, not suspecting that George has got sabotage waiting in the little refrigerator there and got Hershey's little chocolate pieces in there. Why did you do that? Hypocrite. You're always bitching out everybody else for doing that. And I open up the little mini refrigerator that my good friend Robert gave us a couple of years ago. Boy, I sure remember Robert, don't I?
No.
Yes, I do. But at any rate, and I go in there to get my Diet Pepsis and my Soleil water, whatever might be in there, and I see a little bag of Hershey's chocolate little miniature pieces. I thought I had them hid. Oh, yeah, you really had them. You had them hidden very, very well, right. The refrigerator's about the size of most people's ass, okay? So how easy is it to hide something in a refrigerator that size?
It's not when you root right
through it. It's the size of the average person's rectum. That's about how big it is. You're full of crap. So anyway, I'm coming to work this morning, unsuspecting that I'm going to be hit with a sugar shock when I come in. And I'm listening, of course, to this station. Why, I'm not really sure, but I'm listening. And they get to the thing about Edgar Renteria, okay? Now, this, for anybody with a brain out there, is just another example of how it continues ongoing. They keep sticking you right in the rectum. That's right, no matter how big it is. Because, well, he's eligible for arbitration and yada, 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 and he was only making $2.25 last year, but he's probably going to get about $1.5 million this year. And then Dave Dombrowski will come on tomorrow and peddle some story. Well, at any rate, to make a long story short, there he is, as always, as predictable as snow in the North Pole, okay? A simpering suckhole. I will never, ever, as long as I live, respect Joe Rose or Jeff DeForest until the day when one or both of them gives Geldy a knuckle sandwich right on the air. Right in the middle of the show. That's right. I will never have respect for either one of them, because how anybody can restrain himself sitting there and listening to the never-ending simpering suckhole that just goes on and on, no matter what the situation. Maybe that's his role on the show. Maybe when he was hired, he was told, we want you to be a simpering suckhole because we heard your voice and we think you won't have to really do much acting. You won't have to put on anything. Just be yourself. You'll be a simpering, never-ending suckhole that always simpers and sucks. Remember that song, Simpers and Sucks? Boy, does he get on my nerves. I mean, it's not personal because I don't know him well enough for it to be personal. It's business. And man, of course, the sports nerds, like I said, they had the 5-year-old kids on there a couple of weeks ago. Hank was en route or something, and they're on there. And the very first call is somebody who wants, some advice on who we should bet the point spread. Will they cover the spread? Well, the overs and the unders, the ins and the outs, the ups and the downs. So when you're dealing with a sports nerd, it could be a minor bird, as long as it's somebody on the other end of the phone who's willing to hold a conversation about the same incessant, repetitious, meaningless garbage. They don't care. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, but the sound, it's not only the sound of it, but what's coming out, what he's saying. If he was saying something reasonable with a bad voice, you'd say, well, here's a guy that really knows his stuff. He just got a bad voice. But he's got a bad, irritating voice, and he sucks. He sucks, and he sucks, and he sucks, and he never stops sucking. God, just once in your life, come on there and stop being a company shill, okay? Just once.
The funds are so got it.
Exactly. Enough of the goddamn sucking already, Geldy. Jesus, God, and Joseph. Man.
Já basta de chupar.
Yeah, I'm sitting here this morning, a captive audience at about 20 till 10, and I hear that sound. I just cracked the monitor up just a little teeny tiny bit, just to see if we're on the air. When you work on this station, you have to check that out very frequently. And there's that sound again, that just like scraping nails, not on a blackboard, but on your
rectum.
Oh, all over your body, like falling into a river of red ants that are just crawling inside and outside and all over your head and your ears and just everywhere. The sound of that voice, simpering and sucking. So anyway, we got you the information first here yesterday, by the way. Oh! Camrell Martian is out at Channel 4. You see, this is what happened. He's the one that's going to have to pay for it. Not that he's a good guy. I mean, I can handle him even in spite of those lips. But, he never stole a freight train, and I have watched Channel 4 for years by default. But this is the price they pay for over our good friend Barbara Sloan. Right? There you go. I told you I'd have Mickey Dane and Schmo Griffin put a goddamn evil curse on you people at Channel 4, and it worked like a charm, like a lucky charm. Their ratings are so goddamn low that you can't find them with the Mount Palomar telescope. And they brought in that I don't know what they saw in her, that Ann Roberts. She is as wooden as a board. No, seriously, she's as wooden as a surfboard. She's just, she's an old Barbie doll. She's not a Barbie doll that's cute or pretty or that delivers the news particularly effectively or well or she's just a face. Whereas Barbara Sloan at least was here for a while and she was kind of like had some warmth to her. Ann Roberts is about as warm as an ice cube. In fact, maybe she knows Hillary. Maybe she's another ice princess. Huh? And we had the news, we had the scoop for you right here first yesterday, boys and girls. Channel 4's early and late evening newscast suffered from low ratings, and they got the assistant news director from Channel 7, and they're going right after them. They're going to go on there, and they're going to put people on hyperventilating and carrying on and hovering over the news desk and hovering over each other, doing their goddamn best to emulate Channel 7 and that stupid garbage, that swill that they put on and pretend is news, with a bunch of fruit flies flitting around like butterflies in heat. Isn't that basically what they do? Thank God they got somebody macho over there, like Rick Sanchez. By the way, do you ever tell the stories about how he used to dress up when he did mornings? 9 minutes after 10 at 560 WQM, our QM van will be out at a location to be disclosed momentarily. We didn't do that great yesterday, and I wanted to address that at great length today, by the way, about you assholes in Pembroke Pines. No, seriously, I think that there are a lot of assholes. We have many assholes, of course, in town because we got 4 million people down here. But, Pembroke Pines, I think, is the center. That's the core. That's Assholeville, is Pembroke Pines, which is why George got out of there, by the way. He used to live there. I used to live there, Pembroke Lakes. And I looked around and I said, boy, what a bunch of assholes. I'm getting out of here right now.
Oh! Hi, this is Maury Povich wishing you a happy Hanukkah.
ABC may have turned its back on Ellen, but not the gay community. This fall, ABC's latest hit comes out of the closet, The Nancy Boys Mystery.
We clean apartments.
go to the gym and solve mysteries. Join the Nancy boys as time after time they put their asses on the line.
Ooh, that almost rhymed.
Catch the premiere episode when Bruce's tank top mysteriously disappears at the gym and Lance promises to get to the bottom of things and solve the mystery.
You know, Stefan, that old piece of Christmas trash was walking away when I came out of the sauna.
I think it's time for a strip search.
The Nancy Boys Mysteries. They're gayer than gay. Special guest appearance by Richard Simmons. Coming this fall on ABC.
10:14 at 560 WQAM. So anyway, let's hear some good things about Coral Martian, okay? Number one, he never stole a freight train. Number two, he was inoffensive. Other than, it took me a while. It took me about 5 or 6 years to get used to the lips, which he couldn't help that. Huh? He had big lips. Oh, that, you know something, that's what I should have played before I started talking about this. I should have played... I'm not going to play the whole thing. A little taste. A little taste of those big, sweet lips.
I'm very proud of my new nose ring.
So anyway, like I said, once you got by the lips and his appearance, which wasn't the greatest. See, I don't know what it is about me, but if I'm going to look at somebody doing the news, they don't have to look great, like Bill Hummer on CNN in the morning, who does look very good. Or they can look like Ralph Rennick didn't look good. I mean, did he look good?
No.
He never looked good. Even at birth, he didn't look too good. But he was not offensive. He wasn't a grotesque, disgusting, horrendous thing to look at, was he?
No.
He was okay. Ann Roberts, she wasn't attractive. She was very, very much too butch, but she wasn't offensive looking.
No.
Uh-huh. But Cambrell, it took, like I said, now that we're finally used to him, I'm used to him. I like Cambrell. He did a lot of good stuff for charity in the community. He's a good guy. He never stole a freight train, and he's out. How come Brian Norcross, that little twit, that little hysteria, and of course they don't want to get rid of him because he'll fit right in with their plans now. That's the direction they want to go in, hyperventilating and hysterical. The Rick Sanchez, Brian Norcross, take everything and whip it up into a major controversy and a frenzy routine, and that's the responsible job of doing the news. They don't give a crap about the news or about any other, but they are the news that works for you. And the article I'm reading here, in both papers, by the way, it says it didn't work for them. It may work for us, but it didn't work for them. Their ratings were in the crapper, is what it says. I mean, there are people on there who are very offensive, like Jim Barry. See, Coral Martian is a black guy, but you don't look at him doing the news as a black guy doing the news. Even though he used to be a sports guy doing the sports, now he's a black guy doing the news. But you don't look at him once you get by the lips thing. And by the, and the name thing, Cambrell may not have. If he would have changed his name to like John, Ed, Tom Martian, huh? That would have been a little more acceptable. But Cambrell, when you come right down to it, how many people do we know? I think the cultural barriers in this country are becoming much worse than they used to be. How many guys do you know named Cambrell? Besides Coral Martian, do you know anybody else named Cambrell?
No.
Could you name, if I held a gun to your head, could you name me one other person on the face of the earth named Cambrell?
No.
How many people, I asked this yesterday, got no response since the Jets game was just, forget about the game, that's not the important thing. Let's get with the social significance. How many people do you know named Keyshawn? And see, this is what another thing that gets me about these sports nerds is that they can come up with any ridiculous X-ray hip, IB hip, whatever these stupid asshole names are. Oh, yeah, and the sportscasters and the sports fans. Oh, there's X-ray right over there. There's extra X-ray, whatever his name is. There's the artist formerly known as asshole, whatever it is. But how many people, seriously, do you know named Keyshawn? Do you know anybody named Keyshawn?
No.
Cambrell?
No.
Bawana?
I know a couple of latrinas.
Yeah, I just hit the latrina on the way before the show, yeah. So Jim Barry, like I said, he's offensive. He's a black guy who wants to be a professional black guy who's always doing his juking and jiving and rapping and crapping, and he's offensive. He's obnoxious. He's disgusting. He is an impediment to Channel 4 News. And immediately when his push comes on there, as soon as he's going to do his make-believe professional black guy sports, I flip to my clicker starts clicking automatically. I've got that locked into my Sony XBR TV that when Jim Barry comes on, under any circumstances, the set just starts going all over the place, any place but until when he gets off of there, then I go back to Channel 4. I guess they're not going to be impressed over the fact that I was one of the few people that religiously watch Channel 4 News, like I said, not because it's great, not because I really like it all that much, but because I certainly won't watch that simpering jackass Tony Cigaretto on Channel 6.
He's an asshole.
Another sports nerd turned news guy, which is not good enough for him, and he keeps trying to interfere in the sports over there is what we hear. And a real prima donna, along with Jennifer Volpe, who we understand is an even bigger prima donna. And when they get their new studios in Miramar, by the way, she wants to be picked up in a limousine, we were reading the other day, and brought to and fro and back and forth, because we all know that her don't stink. That's right. So I certainly wouldn't watch that. I wouldn't watch Channel 7 News under any circumstances, although they do have their own weather fairy, which I think is kind of amusing. And Channel 10, I mean, why is Channel 10 number one all the time in their news? Their news, that it doesn't even cross my mind. That's how much I watch Channel 10 News. It doesn't even enter into my mind, and that was before Diane Magnum did that crappy piece on me. It didn't enter my mind then before, and it still doesn't now. Dwight Lauderdale, since he shaved off the mustache, looks like he got that aging disease. He looks like he's 120 years old. He looks like an old, tired man still doing the news on TV. It's like they propped up Ralph Rennick. They brought him back from the grave, and they propped him up in a chair at Channel 4, which they probably get higher ratings than they got now. And that's what it's like looking at Dwight Lauderdale. And Diane, like I said, with her hair problem. And they just, I mean, is there any, like Todd Tungan? That's what they're asking in all the newsrooms all over town every day. Who's Todd Tungan today? But other than that, I mean, he's just a silly goose. The only person I do like over there on Channel 10 News is Don.
No.
Yeah, he's great. For my money, he's of the regular. I don't want to offend my good friend Weaver, the weatherman, but they stuck him at 3 in the morning. We don't see him anymore. He's a great guy and a great meteorologist, but he's at 3 in the morning. And I don't want to offend my good close personal friend Bob Soker, who's also very good, but hyperventilates a little bit too much lately, but a good guy. But Don is, I would say, the best weather guy in the market. Is there any debate on that?
No.
Would you disagree with that?
No.
Okay. Don, what does Don?
No.
Whatever he knows, he shares with us. He's good. He doesn't hyperventilate. He's not irresponsible. He doesn't whip everybody into a frenzy. He doesn't cause riots in the goddamn supermarkets and hardware stores every time we have a goddamn rainstorm. Don, though, is great. Other than that, Channel 10 blows. So the bottom line is, I'm going to go through this long, convoluted thing because, see, what they're trying to do is style. Instead of like good people, like we used to have John Hambrick, who was great, he was too professional, I guess. We didn't have room for a John Hambrick in this market because he was a professional news guy who actually had some credibility. He looked like a real serious news guy on there. He was a great guy, by the way, and he's not here anymore. His son is doing the stuff on, what channel is it? Whatever channel it is. What channel is that Jack Hambrick is on? Is that 4? Wherever he is. And he's okay. Don't look too good, but he's okay. But news in this town, man, it's a joke. There just isn't any news anymore. So, Cambrell, we wish you the best. You're a good guy. You never stole a freight train, did a lot of good stuff for kids and for charity, and he's a good guy, and he gets a reward for it by getting stuck in a... And that's right, and they're going to make him the scapegoat for their failures to put on a real good newscast. And, of course, how about that goddamn ham hock Al Sunshine, huh? How about not giving him a little bit of the blame? Al Sunshine with those disgusting arms of his. Right in the middle of the dinner hour. Are we going to watch Al Sunshine?
No.
Jesus, pointing and pointing, Go point at yourself, okay, you fat fart. Go look at yourself in the mirror and start working on yourself, you fat, chubby piece of turd. Waving those ham hocks, yeah, right. Shame on you is what I say. Shame on you, Al Sunshine. So there you go. They're shaking it and they're quaking. We got stations moving. 6 is where 4 used to be and 4 is where 6 used to be. And the thing I love about Channel 6 is every 5 minutes they come on and they say, if you can't see the picture, don't you love that? Call our technical analyst, okay? Call up George Corso over at QAM. He's got some spare time. He'll work on it for you. And the picture too. And of course, if you still can't see the picture, just turn on your FM radio. And you can listen to our newscast on FM only by a quirk of, nature. Here's a call from Hollywood. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
I'm speaking to you, yes. Are you speaking to me?
Yes.
And?
Neil.
Yes.
Biggest problem with the Dolphins is...
Okay. Like I said, we have an open line in Broward, and today he waited 22 and a half minutes for that. Can you believe that? See what I'm saying? We've got 20 hours a day for these people who have no lives whatsoever, 20 hours every day of your lives. I don't want to hear about Jimmy Johnson. I don't want to hear about Danny Marino. I don't want to hear about the Dolphins. I don't want to hear about the Jets. I don't want to hear about the Bills. I don't want to hear about Bill Cowher. I don't want to hear about any guy punching his coach in the face. I don't want to hear about none of that crap. Okay? You understand?
No.
No. 22 and a half minutes. I only had to say hello to this guy 16 times before he realized that I was saying hello. And he's giving me a song and a dance. I don't want to hear about that. I want to know how many guys you know named Keyshawn. I want to know what this whole cultural thing is now. I've never had even an attempt at a satisfactory explanation of where these black names are coming from in America today. Driving a stake between the races in America with these ridiculous... How many guys... Let me ask you this. How many guys do you know named Anthony? Huh? Remember Anthony Hopkins? He used to put the lotion in the... Yeah, right? Anthony Hopkins. And then there was Anthony... what was his name? He was in Psycho.
Perkins.
That's the last time. Very good. There's a great letter to the editor, by the way, this morning in the Herald. Very, very short. One of the great letters in the history of letters to the editor. And they put a little headline on it with that says the universal language, and the S is in the form of a dollar sign, the universal language. And the letter from A. Samuels in Miami Beach says, after living in Miami-Dade County for 40 years, I don't speak Spanish, nor do I have to. My money speaks for me, and everybody understands. Oh! Nice going, A. Samuels. That'll way to stick it right in their puss. No speaking of pani, okay? Here, go me $50 million and blow it out your ass. Nice going, A. Samuels. That's the kind of guy I respect, who's not going to, bend over and wilt under the pressure of a bunch of banana boat people who don't want to get with the program. Speaking of that, here's Hialeah. Hello.
Hey, good morning.
Yes, sir?
Piki Pani?
No way. No way, Jose.
Oh, okay. How you doing, sir?
And we don't want any more Puerto Ricans here either. Yes, sir.
How you doing? I just called to say hello, see how everything's doing. I got a strange...
Now, what does that mean? You call to say hello and see how everything's doing. What does that mean?
Well, I just turned the radio on.
Yeah.
And I heard you were talking about some strange names.
Yeah.
I got one for you. Shantisha McNair.
Shantisha. I know at least 40 women named Shantisha.
Oh, you do?
And 2 or 3 guys. Yeah, no.
Oh, I thought I was the only one.
Shantisha?
Shantisha McNair.
Yeah, who'd that be?
Oh, she used to be a girl I used to go to school with in Jersey. She used to cry all the time.
And what did they call her? Tisha?
She used to call her Crybaby.
Okay. Well, it's a lot easier to call her Crybaby. That's what Johnny Depp said, than call her Shantisha. How you doing, Shantisha? What is this? What is this with these freaky black names? I think what America wants to know. Do we want to know?
Uh-huh.
We want to know. I think it's some kind of a goddamn code is what I think. Is it getting warm in here, or is it my imagination? Huh? Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm getting all worked up to a frenzy already this morning. So anyway, we raised a very mediocre $610 in Pembroke Pines and wherever else we were yesterday. That's the 2 locations combined. I told those guys they should have stayed where the hell they were. So, and we got $247 in the mail this morning, which I thank you profusely, by the way. $857. So our ongoing total is $85,796 for Center One, and we still have 7 of the boarders yet to report in for last week, just like we also have yet to get my check from for last week, from Whammy last week. But it is the holidays, and that's a good excuse why things are slowing down a little bit. But I'm sure that Carol will have some information up to date for us any minute now on that fax machine. Right, Carol? Oh, boy. It's a battle, but we'll win it.
Where do you find Ed Kaplan? Right where you got it. Sports Radio.
You bought that candy, you little stick?
AM.
It's me again, Bob. Douche when you're done.
How do you like that? He's buying candy and bringing you. I thought somebody gave it to you and you were trying to pawn it off.
I'm dreaming of a white neighbor.
Yeah, like named Keyshawn.
Just like the one that I used to know.
I think white guys ought to start naming their kids Keyshawn.
Where the lawns were trimmed and cars had rims. Seems so very long ago.
I think Goyam ought to start naming their kids Yitzchak. Sounds good.
I'm dreaming of a white neighbor. With every for sale sign I ride. May your days be merry and bright.
Norman Fella's dead, by the way. I got a lot of stuff. I got to get in between the bits today. Too much stuff.
And may all your new neighbor be white.
Yeah, we were just reminiscing before the show because we have some, was it Tracy Eve that sent me all these Carpenters remastered, redigitally? I love the Carpenters, of course, even though it's embarrassing to admit that. But You know something? We were thinking if Elvis would have just shared some of that food that he overate with Karen Carpenter, they might both still be alive today. You ever stop and think about that? You ever think about it?
No.
I mean, Elvis even sounds like a normal name. We know several Elvis Grbac. There you go. Although he's another stupid jock. But we know a few people named Elvis. But Keyshawn and what was the one he gave us? Botswana? Here's West Palm Beach. Hello.
Neil, how are you today?
Okay, sir.
Hey, one thing. I do know one Keyshawn.
Really?
Yes, I do. But he also is a dark neighbor.
Yeah. Oh, you have a dark neighbor.
Yeah, but he's only 4. I think he was just named after the football player.
Isn't that pathetic? That's what we need is a lot more people named after football players like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, whose name was like Bob Smith when he was born, but he's, you know.
Neil, I called George and asked him if it was okay since I couldn't get through to my congressman if I got to talk to you about Clinton for a minute.
Yeah.
Could this be any more pathetic?
Listen, they don't care. Even Eliana Gross-Leighton and 70 and 80 and 90% of the people that are calling their congressmen are saying no to impeachment, and they don't give a crap. In fact, the people are saying one thing, and the more they say that, the more these assholes are moving in the opposite direction, according to what I'm reading this morning. They're out of their minds.
Do they forget what happened November 3rd?
Uh-huh.
And do they think that's not going to happen again?
Uh-huh.
If you think that the voter apathy has been...
You know something? In a way, this is probably, even though it's going to make for a lot of months of grief and the bullcrap on TV, and since the O.J. trial's over already, I mean, it'll keep people off the streets. Even though we're going to have to go through all of that, the fact is there is no chance he'll be convicted in the trial in the Senate. And come 2000, all of these right-wingers and even the moderate Republicans are going to get us sucked into this. They're all going to say goodbye to them. Because don't forget, the whole House gets reelected every 2 years.
But what's going to happen is that the voter apathy that you've seen for the last 100 years is going to be gone so quick. And they're going to have 80%.
There's going to be a revolution because the people are going to be fired up and pissed off.
Absolutely.
This is unacceptable.
Absolutely. And they're going to find out the right wing is going to get what they've needed all this time, and that's the hard arm of the left, the hard left arm.
Absolutely correct, sir.
Neil, can we make one request for Palm Beach? Anything you want to play.
Okay.
We love you. Take
Okay.
care,
Have a great life. How about that's for Palm Beach? I'll tell you what. Here's something for Pembroke Pines. Boy, they hate me in Pembroke Pines. What have I ever done to them? I mean, George and I both moved out of there. Maybe they're holding that against us. Could it be that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Not too big on us in Pembroke Pines. We had an intersection yesterday when you told me that they went to Pines and where the hell was it? University?
Yeah.
To the Hooters, trying to pick up some ugly chicks over there that can't get laid by anybody else. When you told me they were over there, I thought, boy, that's a busy intersection. And I would say 95% of the people that hang out in that area, like I said, 82% of those people speak English. About 40% of them actually speak English in that part of the town. 20 or 30%. And they went over there and they couldn't raise enough money to even get laid, as a matter of fact. That's what they were trying to do. Or maybe that's where the excess went. Maybe the cash money that they got, maybe that all went to, you know what I'm talking about? Oh. Boy, because I noticed it kind of ended abruptly yesterday. They did not hang around to get their $1,000 yesterday over there at Hooters. So Sam and Chris, the nephew, they'll be taking the QAM van out today. And we better, is it Coral Springs? Have we decided that for sure? We'll let you know the exact location. We'll be in Coral Springs, okay? And in between your gang meetings and your gang bangs up there, I'm hoping that some of you can take some time out and help us out and pick up your Best of the Old merchandise, your CDs and cassettes and T-shirts and whatever other. And we got some crap to give away to you, some Dolphin T-shirts and whatever else. Some of the ones that say Keyshawn sucks on the back. Keyshawn. I wish I had a list of all the idiotic names. In fact, wait a minute. What's that one name? What is that one name that Dave Hyde mentions in his caustic column this morning? Nice going, Dave. A column almost worth reading. Was it in there? Oh, please don't tell me it's not. Oh, yeah, here it is. Ihiyani Uazuki. Yeah, he's another dolphin. A dolphin. What do they call him? Hey, you. That's what they call him. Hey, bro. Like I said, anybody says, hey, bro, you know immediately. He's an asshole. That's right. That went out with knickers, okay? That went out with two-piece men's bathing suits. Hey, bro. Trying to be cool. See, people who try to be cool and hip are about as cool as a frog's fart. Here's Miami. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
You're a disgrace to the Jewish religion.
Yeah. And happy Hanukkah. Okay, thank you. Okay, we have an open line at Broward, 567, very weak attempt, by the way, sir. 567-0560, pound 560 on the Mobile One line. I'm only a culinary Jew, okay? I'm only into the deli, so leave all the rest of the bubble ices to somebody else. Here's a lady in Miami. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. I was just calling to answer a question about the name.
Yes, what is that? What do that be?
I'm a black person, and we don't even know. So
you know, you see, even the Spartans don't know. How do you like that? Oh!
It's like a very, I don't know.
I think it's a plot.
They named their kids Tijuanica and all these.
Tijuanica. How you doing, Tijuanica? And Oprah. What kind of a name is Oprah when you come right down to it?
The kids can't even spell their own names.
Right. They can't even spell Sarah, much less Tijuanica. They can't even say it.
Oh, how can I say, Neil?
And back to you. Thank you. There's a dark-complected lady, and she's chuckling about it because she's thinking, you know something, you got a point, mister. You honky bastard over there. I don't even know myself what it's all about. Just because somebody one day told you if your complexion is darker than like 4 on the Richter scale, then you got to come up with some Afro-Cooner kind of name or something. Keyshawn. And these sports assholes. Oh, did you see that play Keyshawn made? What? What is that? What language you be speaking? You know, when we get into that bilingual thing, which I certainly don't want to do again unless we read that letter from the editor, that was great. From A. Samuels on Miami Beach. But do you ever talk about that thing? Let's slow down a little bit. Because if you're talking Keyshawn and Tijuanica and this bullcrap, you do not be speaking English. You do not even be speaking Sanskrit. I say let's go back and start speaking Latin is what I say, okay? Let's have a Latin revolution. We're not talking Latin as in Hispanic. We're talking Latin as let's put the togas back on. Oh, and speaking of that, I got that great article about, where is it? Oh, leave it to my friends the Dutch. Oh! They know their crap, baby. So is Al Goldstein back in town, or is he off flying around again, by the way?
Crap.
Huh? Since you had another...
And by the way, the people calling up with their wonderful names...
Yeah. Yes?
That don't want to go on the air and talk to you, they're just going to call and tell me.
We'll be able to get a free dial tone. And one of those, too, for the holidays. There you go. There's a free from WQM for the holidays. 21 before 11 at 560 WQM.
That's Bush. Tomorrow.
So I mentioned Norman Fell is dead, by the way. Norman Fell.
He's Jerry Springer with the in his hand, exploiting assholes and homos every day on TV. He'll use a taxi cab to get some girls in for hooks at the store on right to check for the fee. So if you like that kind of show designed for assholes like you, and if you think that watching that kind of show is healthy, it's Jerry Springer with the in his hand. It's up to try to solve the white trash wiping and the picking up the fighting is and you tell the opposite participation after every altercation on the show so bad and well he can go to hell. He's getting free of the in his hand, the fighting all is what you want to see. He's getting free of the in his hand. He's Jerry Springer with the in his hand. He's Jerry Springer with the in his hand. He's Jerry Springer with the in his hand.
No, to stop and think about the great black action throughout history. We have time for this. When you think of like Willie Mays, Roy Campanella, Tim Brown, Bobby Mitchell, Jesse Owens. I mean, Jesse's like, not that uncommon of a name. They all had like real names. And they were black. Huh? Willie Mays. Willie McGee. Bob Gibson. There was no like Keyshawns. There was no Tishawanas. There was no Cambrell. Oh, excuse me. See, I think that was his problem. Cambrell Martian. Both names that we can't relate to. One out of this world and another one just out of your mind. I mean, seriously, do you know anybody else in your life named Cambrell? Is anybody out there?
No.
Now, the one guy said he knows another Keyshawn, which I doubt very seriously. Here's Orlando. Hello, but he's 4 years old and named after some jock. Orlando.
Is this Paul Isle? Hello?
Oh, God. How sad. How very sad. Open line and Dade, 567-0560 and pound 560. You know, it's really amazing to me and very disturbing that the people in Orlando, of all the parts of the state, the radio groupies there, those are the ones when they call us, they want to talk to us about boring Bob Lassiter and about people that nobody ever heard of in this market and nobody cares about. That it seems to be like an obsession with those poor guys. And I can understand that, because because they have nothing even closely resembling real radio. Or I shouldn't have said that. Up there in Orlando, it's a mythical. It fits in with the whole Disney-ish thing, you know, fantasy land. But almost 90% of the time we get a call from up there, it's somebody like this asshole with his Paul Lyle droppings. Okay, how's Paul Lyle doing, by the way? He's still in Buffalo?
No.
Here's Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Neil?
Okay, sir.
You know, although it's not a black name, how about Lawton? You know any people named Lawton?
Lawton?
Like Lawton Charles.
You mean any living people named Lawton? No, not anymore.
No more. But
how about Hikun?
No.
You know any Hikuns?
Is that like Hercoons? Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
But no, on the black names though. How many people you know named Shaquille?
Shaquille? Yeah, that's a good one. I like Shaquille.
And then of course you know there's always Edgarin. And you always
Edgerin.
Edgerin.
You'd be getting it right there, sir. Edgerin.
I'm sorry.
Do you think that somebody screwed up when they like Anthony? Do you think that maybe they really meant Anthony and they just didn't quite get it? Well, maybe they had a hearing problem, just like with Edgerin. Maybe it was like Edgar, you know, like Edgar Allan Poe.
Because of the big lips, that's what it is.
Is that what it is? It gets in the way.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got Owazike. You already talked about him from the Dolphins. And then even when you talk
what
about
is his name? Owazika?
The last name's Owazika. I can't even pronounce the first name. I think it's just ZQRZ.
ZQXQLRNX. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then I used to know a girl that was up in the north area. She was one of the duck-colored girls. Her name was Ungazi.
Oh, I like that.
You know, you gotta love that. You know how it was spelled?
Was she kin to John Gotti?
I think so. But you know what it's spelled?
Yeah.
UNKAZYR.
XQN. Okay. Have a great Kwanzaa. Okay. Get out of here. Prince Klaus unties latest fashion trend. Here's my Dutch story for the day. This is great. Oh! Leave it to those Dutch, baby. They're the best. With a simple tug of a tie, a Dutch prince has touched off a revolution in the Netherlands. Oh! In a speech opening a show of African fashion, speaking of Afrikaners, Prince Klaus ceremoniously wriggled free of his Windsor knot, yanked off his navy blue necktie, and tossed it rather inelegantly at the feet of his wife, Queen Beatrix. A snake around my neck, the 73-year-old prince snarled to a standing ovation. Reporting the story that evening, one TV anchorman peeled off his tie. In solidarity, so did the sportscaster. Now, 1 week later, Klaus is a folk hero, and an open collar has never been more in vogue in the Netherlands. The phenomenon already has a name, Klaustrophilia, which celebrates the prince for denouncing ties. I also suffer from Klaus tie phobia, so I'm shouting for joy at the prince's call for a ban on neckties, says Wouter van Winden, a businessman in the central city of Delft, was quoted as saying in Monday's Die Volksstraat newspaper. No piece of clothing combines so little function with so much potential to show bad taste, he said. For me, a necktie is like a dog leash. Both symbolize a limit on freedom. Why else does Nelson Mandela never wear one? Amen, says Klaus, who proclaimed the South African president the best-dressed man I know during Wednesday's fashion show at the Royal Palace in Amsterdam. That even a prince could find a tie of royal pain has resonated across Holland, where neckwear remains the standard in business, but is no less loathed. The necktie, as a nemesis, has internet chat rooms abuzz over Klaus and his fashion statement, which the German-born prince dubbed the Declaration of Amsterdam. Oh! There you go. More freedoms in Amsterdam, free from that goddamn noose around your neck. Because, I see a guy with a necktie on, the first thing I think? He's an asshole. That's right. That's what I think. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello?
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
These black parents, they're trying to make a statement or something.
And what is the statement?
That, I don't know, that black is beautiful or whatever. But anyways, they named
Black is beautiful because your name is Tawana?
Wait a second. So anyways, they named their kid Tamika. Now, all through her life, she has to fill out applications that she sends in and everything. And if somebody's just a hint of prejudice, they're going to throw that one away.
Yeah.
And I've always
her
thought
name was
about
just like Tammy. I mean, Tammy's pretty simple. What's wrong with Tammy?
Well,
it's good enough for Debbie Reynolds.
Tamika Washington. So anyways, I've always thought of this, and you're the first person who brought this out to life. And
thank God for me.
Thank God for you.
And
also too, with Clinton, most of the evidence gathered against him is illegally gotten evidence. So what kind of statement is that?
Well, now you're nitpicking. You're starting too many facts. We don't like that. Have a great day, pal.
All right.
Don't confuse us with the facts. And you'll notice there was no investigation. All they did was take Kenneth Starr and take his report and have him come on there and parrot the same crap over and over again. And then they had a bunch of legal scholars, and half of them said one thing, and half of them said the other thing, and there was no investigation of anything. Oh, yeah, well, it was perjury, and he did this, and the public says we can't stand it. It's like Geldy's voice. In fact, that would be that's our poll question for the day. Which is more annoying, the ongoing impeachment bullcrap or Geldy's voice? Now, that's a tough choice for me, personally. No, actually, it's no contest. Geldy's voice. Seriously, he drives me up the wall, that child. And what makes it even worse is that A, there are people listening to him who believe he belongs on the air, and B, there are sponsors that he's doing commercials for. He's doing commercials. And as soon as I hear that voice of credibility, oh, how's that restaurant doing where we got the free meal, by the way? Remember that place? Okay, here's, what does that say on there? What does that say above where it says mobile? I can't...
Oh, it just says Miami in a whole bunch of places because it was screwed up.
Oh, I see. Like I said, here's Miami in a whole bunch of places.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Did you read that story this morning about the murder-suicide in Wyoming and the sheer stupidity of the woman that did it?
No.
It was unbelievable. This woman is having an affair with her principal across the street.
Yeah.
So she decides to kill her husband. So she wants to make it look like an intruder did it. So she goes and she ties up her kids with a ski mask on, the two young kids, and she disguises her voice. Then she goes in, she shoots her husband twice, slits his throat, stabs him in the heart, and runs outside, and she ends up killing herself 2 days later because when the cops came in, both of the kids thought that was mommy and she was playing a game.
Uh-huh.
That's how they got it. I mean, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, evidently not a real good disguise. Okay, thanks for the good news, sir. Nice going, sweetheart. One more, please, for yourself. We have an open line today. There's a lot of sick people out there. I don't want to tell you that. Boy, I was driving home from the track last night after a traumatic night at Pompano Park, and I'm driving out there. That's got to be one of the most irresponsible bunch of people, the people driving west on Sunrise Boulevard at late at night. People driving east ain't doing too good either. But the people driving west who think that they're driving off like into Wyoming or somewhere, into the wide open spaces. Hey, I hate to break the news to you. Number one, I'm not impressed with your Altima with your souped-up engine in it, okay? But if you want to go 90 miles an hour on Sunrise Boulevard where the speed limit is 40, be my guest. Just get the hell away from me, okay? That's number one. I mean, I'm talking about seeing people doing things and it just goes through my mind as I see them doing it, antisocial. They are doing things in their cars, their behavior. They're like racing you. They're going like, can you go 100? Yes, I can go 155 in my Corvette. I don't want to go 155 on Sunrise Boulevard, okay? They're just doing things like they're stoned out of their minds. They're just crazy, all of the above. And we got people walking around named Keyshawn. And there are going to be people saying, well, what'd be wrong with that? You some kind of a bigot? Is that the problem? Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I don't like that name. I'm bigoted against certain names. Like Nelson, for example. That's a terrible name. It's a horrendous name. There are certain names that are good names, like, Tom and Dick and Harry and Sally. What?
Bill.
Bill is good. Like Buffalo Bill is very good.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better myself. Oh, and by the way, speaking of this, I want to tell you what a bunch of nerds, because... See, here it is. We've been here almost exactly a year. Do you realize it's almost time for our one-year anniversary here on WQAM?
Oh!
That's going to be a party to put an end to all parties, baby. We'll spend all day on the party on December 30th. Yeah, 2 weeks it'll be 1 year we've been on the air in this joint. And there's still a whole bunch of these punks over there in the other building that I've never seen yet or met or, quite frankly, don't care. Some of those 5-year-old sports nerds. And the rumor has it, I don't want to say that Joe Costello told us, but rumor has it that some of those 2-year-old sports nerds over there think that bit with the Buffalo Bill thing and it puts the lotion in the basket, which every time I play it, George and I fall on the floor and pee on the floor in our pants. They think that it's not funny, that it's, what was the word?
Creepy.
Creepy. Creepy rhymes with pee-pee, okay? Boy, I'm telling you, some of those kids over there, where did they find these losers, these silly people with the bad voices? That's one thing they share in common, boy. They got bad voices. They may be real nice kids, although I have my doubts. But, boy, talk about bad voices and one-dimensional. One-dimensional. And if I have to hear any more of Jimmy Johnson's press conference, I know we couldn't get Hank on yesterday, one of those rare QAM technical problems from Shula's right off the bat. So instead, they wound up playing Jimmy Johnson's press conference for about 4.5 hours there until we could get it on the air. And then like 10 minutes later, after Hank does his first segment, we go to a commercial break, and here's the sports update. And what do they play? More of the same crap from Jimmy Johnson's press conference. Oh, my God. It was creepy is what it was. 10:56 at 560 WQM.
Neil Rogers got.
Okay, start taking some notes.
Come on, everybody.
Yo, look here, man.
We gonna play a game.
Say what?
We be flipping shit around.
What's that now?
And Ebonics be the name.
Yo, what you talking about?
You take a funky dope word.
Like, oh, boy.
And bust some skills to make it round.
Gotta bust some skills.
Check out what I've been kicking.
What you talking about?
You have it down in no time.
Show up.
Jesus. Jesus. Let me do homie. Homie. Yo, this be Anthony. Anthony. Who that hoe? Oh! You be boning. Now try your luck with fun. Buck.
I just come up with a great idea, by the way. All you people who've named your kids horrendous, grotesque names that they'll never be able to pronounce, that people will laugh their asses off at them the rest of their lives. Instead of giving, like, candy, instead of giving some stupid toy as a holiday gift, get a big holiday card. And inside that card, when the little kid opens it up this year at Christmas or Chanukah time, they open it up and there's a brand new birth certificate with a real name on it.
Oh!
That's right. You're no longer Anthony. You're like Tony. How do you like that?
All right.
Yeah, you're no longer Tiwanika. You're Sally. What do you say?
All right.
There's a great gift you could give. I'm going to tell you, parents that name their kids horrendous, grotesque names like Moon Unit Zappa and idiotic things like that. Of course, too much drugs was the problem there. We understand that.
At least those are funny.
No, they were not. Yeah, they're funny if they're somebody else's name.
Yeah, exactly.
If they're your name, they're not so goddamn funny, mister, okay? And how about Moon Unit's brother?
Cockaloon.
Yeah, Unit.
Dweezil.
Dweezil. I think I once worked with him, under the name of Steve Nickel. We have an open line in Dade, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Sam and Chris are on their way to, not San Jose, but to Coral Springs. And we'll let you know the location with the best of Neil stuff. I'd sure like to get some. I don't want to start bitching again. I'd like to get some stuff from Carol from Center One so we can really, you know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to get that thing up to $100,000, and I know we can smell it now. Do you ever get close to something really good? You get so close you could smell it. You could almost reach out and touch it. And we got that appearance at the Borders in Sunrise. I keep calling it Plantation, but on that side of the street, I guess it's Sunrise, whatever the hell it is. You know where it is, on Sunrise Boulevard. Saturday, noon to 2. So by the end of that thing on Saturday, it should be a piece of cake, like falling out of bed in the morning. Do you have $90,000 with 2 weeks to go? We'll make that $100,000 easy. But we just need to keep pumping away and pumping away. And if anybody can do that, Sam and Chris, they're the guys to keep doing it. Here's Pembroke Pines. Hello.
These blacks are so fed up with the white man. That's why they named him Keyshawn.
Is it really?
And Jamal. And
Yeah, Jamal.
And Shaquille.
Shaquille?
Yeah, whatever the hell they name their damn kids.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. They hate the white man, basically. And that's
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, there you go. There's the answer for you. They hate the white man, so we don't want no honky names no more. We got to invent our own names. Like Isidore. Is there anybody know any black guys named Isidore?
No.
I mean, there are names that tend to be like David. David is sometimes it's a Jewish name, sometimes it's a Galatian name, but it's a very Jewish name. Michael. Michael can be a Jewish name, can be an Italian name. There's some Goyim named Michael, but it's a very Jewish name. There are names that are like Tom. There are not too many Jews named Tom. Ed. There was Eddie Fisher. There may be a couple of Eds who are Jewish. Ed is a pretty Goyish name, etc., okay? But they're names that are not difficult to spell. It's not difficult, to know what to call somebody. I mean, that's got to be a pain in the ass. You start going to school, and your name is like Tiwanika. Okay, what do we call you, huh? His name is Keyshawn. What do we call him? He's an asshole. Okay, that's easy enough. We have an open line in Dade County, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. How about, and let me say one other great thing about Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, by the way, since it's one of our fine sponsors and since we just ate there on Thursday, and since it is so outstanding. One of the things that I love is a great restaurant where you don't have to dress up. I don't like. I'm not one of those people that's into putting on a tie and a big. In case you haven't noticed, I'm like not. It doesn't impress me. It's uncomfortable. It doesn't add anything to the ambiance of the occasion. In fact, going into a great restaurant, like for example in Vegas, you can go into the fanciest restaurants in Vegas and never have to dress up because it's a tourist joint. They don't want to force you to. They'll take your money, thank you. You can go into the Rosewood Grill, which is very expensive and very fancy-schmancy, and dress like a slob. They don't care. Even Norma Kent came in there and ate on my tab, of course, one time a few years ago. Talk about dressed like a slob. I mean, so slovenly that even I was embarrassed, and that takes a lot. Did they have any problem with it?
No.
Couldn't care less. Okay, we'll take your credit card, please, and there you go. They don't care. That's what I love about Ruth's Chris. You can go in there dressed up all right or you can just go in there dressed like a real slob. I don't like restaurants where they have that, jackets and ties required for men and like evening gowns for ladies or whatever. I don't like that. It's pretentious. It's horse crap. And if I'm going to spend my money in your joint, how dare you tell me how I have to come dressed?
If I want to keep the riffraff out,
Oh, yeah, right. If I want to come into it, listen, I want to tell you something. What the hell's the name of that goddamn seafood restaurant in Boston? We were eating a couple of years ago at this in fact, we're going to get one out there by the Sawgrass. It's a chain. What the hell is the name of that? Very, very, Legal Seafood, it's called. It's a great seafood joint. They got the really great New England chowder, dynamite. We were eating in Boston one time, downtown, in Legal Seafood, and there was a guy in there who looked like they had just scraped him from the bottom of a dumpster, sitting in the corner. And this guy is ordering and ordering. I mean, he had the money to pay for it, obviously. But you talk about dressed. I mean, this guy, maybe he was in a burlap sack, now that I think about it, but he had the money and he was paying for it and just eating up a storm. Did anybody care?
No.
No, he didn't smell too bad. He wasn't cutting too much cheese, so who cared? But like I started to say before I was so rudely interrupted, if I'm going to pay you to come in and eat your food, how you have the audacity to tell me how I got to dress? I got to put on a goddamn necktie to come in and sit down and feel like I'm gagging and choking while I'm supposed to be sitting there enjoying a meal? Please don't insult my intelligence unless you're, one of those snooty people with your nose way up in there that's too good for the rest of us, that you're really enjoying your dining experience in one of those joints, where you have to have a suit and a tie, and you feel like you're in a goddamn zoot, like you're in a straitjacket. How can you enjoy a good meal and being a real pig when you're sitting there with a straitjacket and your mobility is limited? Got it? So there's the two things we learned already today, and it's not even noon yet. Don't name your kids a bunch of stupid jackass names, and don't be telling me what to wear in your restaurant. Got it? Uh-huh. Good. 8 minutes after 11 at 560 WQM.
They're smoking it out in the Everglades.
This is Debbie.
Hi, Debbie. I'm interested in getting some operations done.
Okay.
And some body contouring and some liposuction.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering if you get some tummy tuck and lip augmentation, cosmetic breast surgery, facelift, all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering...
What would you like to start with?
Well, I need to get everything done. Probably the first thing I'd like to have removed is my thing.
Okay, we don't do that.
No. Could you do breast implants, though?
It can be done, but I don't know that they would do it right away.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Mm-hmm.
How much?
5,000.
Excellent. I'd like to have my skin resurfaced, too.
Mm-hmm.
Laser surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Have the lambs stopped crying yet, Mommy?
Excuse me?
Don't hurt Mommy's little baby. It puts the lotion in the basket. I'd like to get the liposuction that I saw on TV.
Okay.
Can you make me look more like a woman?
Well, we'll have to see you first, and then upon looking at you, we can tell you that when we see you.
Should I wear my skin suit made of body parts, Mommy?
If you'd like to.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Would you like to make an appointment?
Yes.
Okay,
There is a $100 consultation fee.
That's fine.
Okay. Okay.
My name is Buffalo Bill.
Okay, let me get a little information from you, okay? Just one moment.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
I understand.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Do you want to come in for a consultation for
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Okay. Would you like to make an appointment, or do you want to call me back?
It puts the lotion in the basket.
I understand.
I've got my skin suit nipple necklace.
Bill.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
I understand that. Would you like to...
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Would you like to make an appointment?
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Okay, I will talk to you another time, okay?
It puts the lotion in the basket. Hello?
Yeah, pretty creepy if you ask me. I'm going to tell you, some of those kids over there in that other building, they really need help, you know. They need assistance. Oh, anybody who has seen a movie and doesn't just pee in their pants when they hear that, maybe after the first 6,000 times it might lose some of its impact. I don't think so. And if you haven't seen a movie, what are you waiting for Christ's sakes? Tony Hopkins says he never made more than 1 or 2 decent movies in his whole goddamn life, and that was one of the good ones, so you better go out and rent it, okay? Oh. We have an open line at date, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Deerfield. Hello. Deerfield.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've got one on these crazy names. When I was in the hospital with my wife when we were having one of our children several years ago, I overheard these 2 black women talking about what they were going to name their daughter. And the one woman said, well, she was giving birth, she heard the most beautiful name, and that's what she decided to name her daughter. And the name was Placenta.
Lovely.
Isn't that nice?
How you be doing, Placenta? I like it. It's got a nice ring to it.
There you go.
Thanks for the good news, pal. Placenta. We have an open line at Dade 1 in Broward, 567. How you be doing, embryo? Hey, Emb. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Hank will be at the Sporting Brews at 2 o'clock today. Hopefully we'll get that on the air so we don't have to hear Jimmy Johnson's press conference again for half an hour. And then at 6 we got the Bookster and we got Eddie K and the Compulsive Neurotic GA Gambling Show, 10 o'clock tonight. Here's a Lady Mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Neil. I'm a black woman, and my husband is a white male, and we've been contemplating a couple of names for our son, the little boy we're having.
Not Keyshawn.
No, not
Not
Keyshawn.
X-Ray.
No, not X-Ray, not Deshaun or anything like that. I would like to name him Reese. What do you think about that?
What is it?
Reese?
Reese?
Reese.
R-E-E-S-E as in Reese's?
No, not as in Reese's Piece. It's like Reese, like maybe R-H-Y-S. That's how I saw it spelled once.
R-H-Y-S?
Right, yeah, exactly. And it was pronounced Reese. It was like an old English kind of name.
Mm-hmm. That's not too bad.
That's not too bad. What do you think about that? My husband thinks that we could name him James, but that's still very common. I mean, I don't know. But I want to ask you a question, though. Why is it that you think that these names are, I mean, personally, I also think these names are very outlandish. These Keyshawn and Deshawn and Timwanika and all these other kind of things.
Deshawn, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I personally would never name my kid something like that. But what I'd like to know is why is it that they should name their kids that? Why is it so normal to name it like something like James or Alex? Are they just because they're Anglo names? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's like with a pet. I mean, not everybody can name their dog Skippy or Tiny or whatever the dog might be. But I think when you start naming your pet like bizarre, weird, strange, I think people start looking at you like you need some assistance.
Well, I think that.
In addition to which, like I said before, your pet don't have to worry about it because your pet's a dumb or whatever it is. But your kid has to live with it for the rest of his or her life.
That I agree with. For that one simple reason, I think that you shouldn't name your kids these wild, outlandish names. Because, to be honest with you, when I meet someone and their name is something like, Timwanika or something that I can't even pronounce, let alone spell, I have to wonder. But, I mean, I think, people might tend to think that it's like a racist view that you're taking when you say that, they're crazy names. And I don't think that you're saying that.
But where does it come from? Where did this all start? Like I said before, most black people used to have the same names in this country as white people, like Tom and Joe and Jim and Mary and whatever. And now all of a sudden, I shouldn't have said Uncle Tom, that was bad. But now all of a sudden it became like a fad, and somebody convinced black people that if you don't name your kids all these bizarre, weird names, you just ain't happening, man.
Well, personally, I think they're making them up. I have to be honest with you, because they're not African names.
I mean, Anferny, Anfernee, Anferny. How you be doing, Anferny?
I don't know where they got that from. My name is Britt, and that's not a common name, but it's not.
What is it again?
It's Britt.
Britt rhymes with, yeah.
You know, and I mean, it's a nice name, but I used to get teased about it. They used to tease me about that name.
Why is that?
White people did, and because they know no one had ever heard of it. Everyone was named Maria or Mary or Cindy or very common boring.
Very boring names, yeah.
You know, so I mean, you can't win either way when you think about it.
Well, how about if you were the person formerly known as? Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye. The person formerly known as Tiwanika, now known as Mary. Hey, if it was good enough for the Virgin Mary, it's good enough for you, okay, ma'am? We have an open line in Dade, 56705. Yeah, that's going to be the next thing. Men with women's names and women with men's names. There you go. Oh. Yeah. How do you like that? Was good enough for Ann Bishop. Yeah, her name could have been in fact, wouldn't that have been something if she would have been Dwight Lauderdale? And he could have been Ann. Or I guess Jimmy Syphilis could have been Ann. Huh? I'll guarantee they got it. In fact, maybe instead of firing all those people at Channel 4, you guys ought to try that. How about Brian Norcross? He could be Ann Roberts, and she could be Brian. Huh? And they could both exchange garb as well. He could dress up like a lot, although she don't dress that good anyway. She may be a very nice person, okay, but she's boring. Ann Roberts, she brings nothing to the table. She doesn't bring appearance. She doesn't bring credibility. She brings nothing. And Cambrell, he's the guy that's going to be sacked because he's got the big lips. They probably did focus studies, okay? And they did leading questions. You see, we were talking about that the other day, about the way they asked these polls. I didn't see 60 Minutes. I was on a plane. But evidently, they had a segment on about how they do the polling, and they ask questions in such a leading way as guaranteed to get a certain answer.
Yeah, they survey them for buzzwords.
Right, exactly. So, they probably asked a whole bunch of people, well, do those big, Afrikaner lips that Cambrell got, do those kind of bother you? Are they a little bit out of the ordinary? And people said, maybe now that you mention it. And they said, okay, you're out, Cambrell, even though you're a good guy and you never stole a freight train, and people have kind of gotten used to you, like the furniture. They got a lot worse problems over there, like that Jim Berry. Now, there's a guy. I almost put him in the same category with Geldy. That's how annoying he is. Although, he goes out of his way to do it. Geldy, that's just him. He's just an annoying little twit, an ass-sucking twit. But Jim Berry, he goes out of his way. He puts on a whole routine and act and a shuffle to be annoying. Talk about stereotypes. Here's a mobile in Boca. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
I got a quick comment, and then I got an answer to your question.
Yes.
Comment is, I'm sick of these people on the news with these made-up names like Beatrice and Cinnamon and all that crap.
Yeah, Cinnamon Stouffer. What the hell kind of a name is that? Sounds like something you find in a freezer department at Publix.
Yeah, it's so retarded. And also, if Channel 7 or these news places want to get their ratings up, somebody while Rick Sanchez was on the news would just walk in there and beat the living crap out of him.
Yeah, you get a 90, sure, we get promoted a week ahead. Yeah.
That would I watch Channel 7 every day.
I would too. So I would tape it and watch it every morning and be in a good mood all day. 24
hours a day. And then my answer is the way that these people get their names, all the crazy names you're saying, all they do is, the mother, since she sleeps with probably, 1,000 guys,
and
she's not sure who the mother is of the baby, she just takes the first initial of every guy she slept with, jumbles it together, and there's the name.
I think that's probably where Anthony came from. Excellent. Okay, good job, sir. So she's not sure who the mother is. That's interesting. I thought he was going to say he's not sure. Okay, we have an open line at Broward, 567-0560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. I mean, what is in a name anyway, huh? There's one thing I can't stand. It's phony, made-up names. Like Neil Rogers, stupid names like that. Can't stand them. Here's Miami Lakes. Hello.
Dr. Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
Great.
I have a quick question, Neil, and again, I'd like to hear from your religious fanatic audience there. Why is it that the flaming, racist, bigoted people, why are they so...
Yeah?
Why is it that they're so into religion? Why do they always quote the Bible?
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, I've come to learn that a lot.
What else are they going to quote? Norman Vincent Peale? I mean, that's what they use to justify all their superstitions.
I mean, what a coincidence. I mean, they always, the Bible this, pure white, Bible that, and it's confusing to me.
People that are superstitious and tell you don't let a black cat walk in your path and don't walk under a ladder, they're the same people who start quoting from, Vincent Price. Stuff like that.
Wow.
See, there you go, and have a great day. We have an open line at date, 5670560. It's like people are over-obsessed with sports. Those are the people that give you a song and a dance about Jimmy said this and did that and blah-blah-blah, and that's all they talk about around the clock, morning, noon, and night. The good news is, though, I got very good news for people that are getting tired of all the crap, including that Edgar Renteria. But what's poor Joe Angel going to do now? He's losing all of his favorite names. Renteria. Didn't you just hate the way he used to say that?
Uh-huh.
Oh, God. That fake, see, it gave Joe an opportunity to stage more of that fakeness that he does, which I don't want to get into that again, because he's okay. Dave O'Brien is great, by the way. Oh! Joe Angel could be great, but I've said that 50 million times already, and he still won't change. He still wants to do fake. It's like a fake orgasm. It just doesn't have the same impact. But nevertheless, no more Edgar Renteria. So not only have we got that stuff, so we're going to have a lot more disillusioned people, though, even though John Henry bought the team, you're still going to get screwed, and they're still trying to save money no matter what Dave Dombrowski tells you tomorrow, no matter how much sucking around Geldy does. Big article in the paper today, underneath the one that says, Cats, no trades imminent. Panthers, nobody's going to make no trade with Brian Murray. Even Mike Smith at Toronto, as unctuous as he is, and as hated as he's despised all around the league, they don't want to make no trade with Brian Murray, okay? Because they know he's their spokesman for something. Anyway, NHL teams that are losing money, big article here today. Penguins, of course, we know, are like on the verge of bankruptcy. In fact, they are in some chapter. And they had to borrow $20 million from a French bank. And the LA Kings have lost they're going to lose $15 million this year. The Vancouver Canucks claim to have lost $24 million the past 2 years. The Washington Caps lost $16 million last year and will lose $20 million this season in spite of that big new arena. I thought the new arenas were supposed to solve all that problem. Wasn't that the deal?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Build us an arena. We'll make a lot of money. And they're still losing their ass. Mighty Ducks general manager Pierre Gauthier said his club will lose lots of money for the first time in its history this effing year. How do you like that? Oh! And it goes on and on. Bruins general manager, cheapskate Harry Sinden, says NHL clubs pay 72% of their revenues to the players. The NBA, which has greater TV and merchandising income, last season paid 57% of its revenues to players and considered that high enough to initiate a lockout. In other words, they got real sores because they're tied up with this collective bargaining deal in the NHL till the year 2004, and many of these teams are losing their rectum. So how do you like that? So they can be paying Kevin Brown $15 million a year, and that fat ass Schvo Vaughn $13 million, and Mike Pizzahead $13 million. Know something? It's all come crumbling down like a big deck of cards, and people are finally saying, guess what? It wasn't so important after all. Do we really care all that much?
No.
Screw them. Pack them a goddamn stale salami sandwich. Give them a guayabera and a stale medianoche, and send them back where they came from. That's what I say. And then, in fact, that's what we're going to be doing on our poll tomorrow. We're going to find out what kind of a format you think we ought to have here on QAM once we get rid of all the stupid sports crap and it all goes out of business in a few months. Huh? Yeah. In fact, now I'm beginning to understand why we're nearly starting the first of the year in mornings on this station. What? No, I'm beginning to understand their thinking. They see the handwriting on the wall. They know that all of this sports crap it's dissolving right before our eyes. It'll all be done. And so as a result, we have to look to the future, baby. The future, the sports is in the past. The future is something else, like in Ooga Booga. 26 after 11 at 560 WQAM.
Packwood can't keep his pecker in his pants.
The following is a paid public service announcement from the International Rifle Association.
Let's face it, most of us will never be rich. Hell, we probably won't even be successful, and that's pretty damn depressing. But, as usual, with every problem, there is a solution. Hi, I'm Jim, and I'm here to tell you a little something about handguns. They scare the shit out of people and intimidate them into giving you whatever you want. That's right, handguns. Think about it. Need some cash? Rob a bank. Don't have enough money for beer? Hold up a convenience store. Take some chips and pretzels while you're at it. It's all free if you've got a handgun. Some son of a bitch cheating on your girlfriend? Kill him. It's a simple solution to life's complex problems. All you have to do is wait the 5 days for it, and happiness is just around the corner. Hell, if you don't want to wait the 5 days, who cares? Buy the damn thing off the street. Just buy a lot of handguns. It's a great alternative to working problems out and can be considered a population control. Yes, handguns. They just might make you famous.
11:31 at 560 WQM. I'm sure that Sam and Chris are somewhere right now in a QAM van to try to raise a lot more money today for Center One. I'm sure they must be somewhere, like around Coral Springs, in Coral Springs. And as soon as we find out where, I'll be happy to tell you. You know, I'm really a little bit disappointed in this crowd. And by the way, a special thanks to Joe DiMaggio. He's the one that instructed the doctors, his agent, that old fogey Morris Engelberg, to cut the crap already, okay? Enough of the updates is what he said. Enough of the frickin' updates.
Crap.
That's right, enough of that too. And so we've been spared for the last day and a half now any more news about his bowel movements and about did he take a breath. Enough. Let us know what's going on when it's over, if you know what I mean. Catch my drift. Like with Norman Fell. But we haven't had one call here today from anybody about Cambrell Martian. The guy is a good guy, from what they tell me. Never stole a freight train, did a lot of work for charity and a lot of for kids' charities especially. Big brothers, big sisters, little brothers, little sisters, big lips, whatever, small lips. And he's going to be blown out over there like he's one of the scapegoats. I'm sure there'll be plenty of others follow, so don't slam the door too hard on the way out, Cambrell, because there'll be a long line on the way out. And they don't care. See, this is what I'm saying about this. See, sometimes in a moment of weakness, I'll take it personally. And then I realize that it's not me. It's at least they're consistent. They don't care about anybody. They don't have passion for anything here. It's like that thing the other day with the business about the hockey fans. They don't care. They leave whenever they're good and ready. They leave. Don't confuse them with what the score is, because they're not paying too much attention anyway. It's a social event, and just in case a miracle might occur like 3 years ago, and the team gets lucky or gets a couple of more real players on the team, which I doubt, but in case they became competitive and suddenly got a lucky hot streak for a couple of months, then they leave the option open of jumping on a bandwagon, getting those banners out and putting them on their car windows. Hey, we love you, Panthers. See, we're fans. There's no passion there. There's about as much passion as, tilting sideways in your chair and sneaking a little fart. That's all. That's the amount of passion that's involved. Which is very unfortunate, but at least they're consistent. They don't give a crap about Cambrell, which is probably why the ratings were so goddamn low. And maybe they're happy he's going. Maybe they're happy that he's getting canned. I'm not happy. I was just getting used to him. And you know something? I've been watching him so long now, I don't even notice the lips anymore. In the beginning, when they made him from sports into a news anchor, they took that magic wand like they did with Tony Cigaretto. Oh, poof, you're a news, like they did with little Brian Norcross, that little twit. That little egotistical, arrogant twit. Well, I'm not doing the weather anymore unless you let me be a news anchor. Part of the time I'll be a news anchor, part of the time I'll be a weather guy, and the rest of the time I'll just be a weather fairy. Okay, Brian, whatever you say, just calm down, okay? Here's Boca. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how are you?
Yes, sir.
Getting back to all the black names, there's somebody who I work with, and that was one of the questions I happened to have asked her about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
The reason why...
What is her name, Latoya?
Actually, close. It's like Decoya, something.
Letitia?
The reason is that they can't offer their kids too much, but the one thing that they can offer them is a exotic name. And that's the reason
what does that mean? What do you mean they can't offer their kids too much? Well, what does that mean?
I have no idea.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're living in poverty, we're in the ghetto, but we're going to give you a real fancy name so everybody can make fun of you at school. Huh? I don't get it. That Keyshawn, of all the names, of all the goofy names, even the ones that are spelled like HZKQX, even that Keyshawn, there's something about it. Maybe because he's, a prominent player, and a pretty damn good one, too, by the way, even though he does play for the Uncers Jets. But Keyshawn, there's just something about it that has the sound of illiteracy attached to it, isn't there? Hey, Keyshawn! Well, what kind of a name is that? Keyshawn. Now, Shaquille, that's bad enough, okay? But at least you can say I'll be having a shack attack. There are things that rhyme with it. Is there anything that rhymes with Keyshawn?
No.
As in how about doggone Keyshawn? There you go. Uh-huh. That doggone Keyshawn burned us again, god dang it. Keyshawn, I get the creeps, I get the willies. I feel uncomfortable even saying it. Thinking it, I even get like a little bit nervous, but saying it. Here's Margate. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I got a real pet peeve with these malls. Forget about these names. I don't know what it is with these malls, but it seems like every year you go through for Christmas season,
the
aisles are getting smaller and smaller. And I'm in a wheelchair. It's worse than that. I can't see the people that walk erect. going through these places.
You can't see any erections in those places? Well, maybe you're hanging out in the wrong joint. Okay, we'll give you some addresses. We have an open line in Broward 2 and Dade. Nobody cares about Cambrell. Before I leave here at 2 o'clock today, that's my goal. I want to hear somebody say something nice about Cambrell Martian, goddammit. It's a holiday season. If you can't think of something nice to say about Cambrell, make something up. Make something up, even if you don't know who that was, who it is, who it be. Just make something up and say, well, he was an okay guy. Boy, you people are a bunch of tight asses, man. You really are. Very ungiving. So what's the story with our boys out there? We can find out where the hell they are?
It's Chris. It's just Chris and the new promotions guy whose name escapes me.
Yeah.
I've never heard it before.
We don't care about the names, okay? I mean,
they're there, but he's trying to find an appropriate corner.
Jesus, Mike, by the time he gets going, this is part of the problem. We appreciate the help. This is great, but they're such slow starters with this crap. By the time they get to wherever we're going, the show is half over, and we cut down and limited the amount of time people have to get there. People are busy. They're shopping. They're schlepping. They're working. They're doing whatever they're supposed to be doing. They're pretending to have a life. And by the time they ever finger it out or get their finger out of each other's, the show's half over already. It's almost noon already. Have we heard from Carol at Center One?
No.
I'm trying to be like the Pied Piper here. I'm trying to get this, and we had some real serious momentum going here. We got right up to 86 grand there, plus whatever else came in at those 7 borders. We might actually be up to close to 90 grand by now, for all I know, or not, as the case may be. That internet thing, NeilRogers.com, how's that doing? We got, like I said, about $250 in the mail this morning, which isn't exactly a flood. It's not exactly like those 50 billion letters out there that want to win that pickup truck from that tailgate contest we got going. But at least it's something, and we thank you profusely, by the way. And yes, I will be at the hockey game tomorrow night for the Pittsburgh game. And by the way, fat-ass Michael Russo, it wouldn't surprise me if Stu Barnes plays in that game along with Marty Straka for Pittsburgh tomorrow night. You better hope they sure don't do too much, okay, after that idiotic... Will Chris Wells be playing for the Panthers?
No.
I don't think so, last time I checked. Here's Coral Springs. Hello.
No, this is Coral Springs, Neil. How the hell are you?
Okay.
Great show today. Listen, at Borders, it's in 700 University Drive in Coral Springs, right on the corner of Atlantic Boulevard.
Yeah.
Can't miss it. And that's the address. I think that's what you guys wanted. When you let me know when you guys are going to be there.
What do you mean? No, they're not going to Borders. Why should they take the van to Borders when the CDs are already there? If people want to go to the Borders, they can. I mean, we're trying to go to a location where other people might be. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like a gas station at a major intersection.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to go pick that CD up over there at Borders. And that I guess maybe is a Muslim name. I'm not too sure. Bobby Moore, they called him Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. Where do you find that?
Right, yeah, I like that. Mahmoud, yeah.
Mahmoud.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, Mahmoud. Hey, have a great day.
His brother, by the way, is named Mach Snell. Okay, 21 before noon at 560. We have an open line in Broward, 5670560, and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Norman Fell is dead. Does anybody care about that?
No.
Anybody know who he was?
No.
He was in The Graduate. He was in that, what was the sitcom he was on?
Three's Company.
Oh, gee, I hated that show. Ooh, I hate all those shows. Even Good Times. Oh, sorry, Esther. We loved Esther Roll, but we hated Good Times. Probably because of that damn JJ. Boy, he was just an impediment to my life. 21 before noon at 560 WQN.
There's no fashion in the skirt.
Last year, Jodie Foster portrayed a young woman determined to see justice done in The Accused.
All right, talk. Which one of you did it?
This year, she won critical acclaim for her portrayal of an FBI agent on the trail of a vicious killer in The Silence of the Lambs.
Was it all of you? Why won't you answer me?
Now, Jodie Foster combines her 2 greatest roles into one blockbuster movie.
Damn it, why won't you talk to me?
TriStar Pictures presents The Silence of the Accused Lambs.
You'll guard, get them out of here. They won't talk. Too late. You had your chance.
The Silence of the Accused Lambs. A tale of murder and mutton.
16 till noon at 560 WQAM. Poor Jodie Foster, she had that baby and we still can't find out how it happened. Maybe it's the Virgin Jodie. Do you ever stop and think about that?
Uh-huh.
No, seriously, there's never been any discussion about whether she was artificially inseminated, which we're positive she was, by the way. And but there's no discussion about that because in America today it doesn't really make no difference. And because if you're in Hollywood or if you're a jock, you have a bunch of babies by a bunch of different people by a bunch of different methods, and then that way nobody's responsible. And if things don't quite work out, you put the baby in like a pizza oven, or you dump it down the toilet at the senior prom, or something like that. And then we go on with life and have a good time. Here's a mobile in North Miami. Hello?
Hello, Neil.
Yes?
You know what my favorite part of that movie was? Silence of the Lambs.
I'm afraid to guess.
No. Forget about that, but...
Oh, okay.
she's sitting there at the end. He hangs up for like 3 minutes, and she's sitting there, Dr. Lecter. Dr. Lecter.
Yeah, right.
You know, and there's like a dial tone and a reorder and everything.
Yeah.
She's sitting there, Dr. Lecter.
Yeah, usually when you hear the dial tone, you don't keep speaking to it. But poor Jody, she's confused in many ways.
It was embarrassing. The other thing, that bit that you're playing.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Yeah, you mean that one? Yeah.
I'm going to try to do this without cracking up, but how about it puts the he-coon in the casket?
Oh, boy. Okay, thanks for the good news. Okay, that's Buddy McKay doing a little bit of that southern bumpkin humor. He's kind of chuckling. We have an open line. Yeah, that's right. That's why you have to be very careful, the pallbearers at the funeral, because if you drop it, it puts too much motion in the casket. We have an open line at date, 5670560, pound 560 on the. See, at least there are things like a tisket, a tasket, I'll see in your casket, stuff like that. But Keyshawn, there ain't nothing that rhymes with Keyshawn, except get long gone and doggone and stuff like that. So let me ask you, here's a mobile in Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Hey, let me ask you something, Neil. What scares you white people so much that black men have to name their kids a different name than what you name your kid, Tommy or David or something else like that?
How about Jim Brown? How about Jim Brown? Now, we don't name our kids OJ. We don't name our kids OJ, I will say that.
A white fag like you coming down on everybody because they're different.
Well, what's your name? What is your name?
My name is Tavis.
What is it?
Tavis.
Tavis?
Tavis.
How you be spelling that?
Tavis. Tavis.
Tavis?
Yes, sir.
What kind of a name is that?
Travis without the R?
It's a proud black name.
Is that like Eddie?
We don't need crackers like you cracking on our names.
Yeah. Okay, and have a happy holiday too, by the way. Okay, that'd be Tavis, by the way, just in case you didn't get it. Hey, how you doing, Tay? And what do you be called? What is it? See, I always wonder, what do you call people like that?
He's an asshole.
Well, I don't mean that we know that, but I mean just hey, Tavy, how you be doing, Tavy? What? See, black people all over the world got along for a long, long time, for about the last 25 trillion years, with just like names, you know, like Edgar and like Edgar Renteria.
Hey, those are the white man's names.
Edgar, Alan Small. Oh, I see. That's right. I forgot about that. Those are slave names, like John David Crow. Okay, where are we going? Here's Pompano. Hello.
Hey, Uncle Mail.
Yes, sir.
I knew Cam Bro when he was up in Connecticut. He used to be on CBS station Channel 3 up in Hartford years and years ago.
Yeah.
Not a bad guy. He's not a bad guy. And you're absolutely right about that Ann Roberts. A friend of mine...
She adds absolutely nothing to that newscast. She is as wooden and sterile as the inside of an oxygen tent.
Yeah, I mean, I knew somebody that was on the weather staff over there that just left a few months ago to Denver. He was like the third weather guy, and he moved to an ABC affiliate in Denver.
Weather Ferry, yeah.
No, he wasn't a weather fairy. But
I said assistant to the weather ferry.
Oh, okay. The television down here in general, just like radio, is terrible.
Awful.
It's absolutely
Bush
terrible.
League. It fits in just perfectly. It's Bush League. Yeah, and the amazing part of it is there's so much money involved there, and it's still Bush League.
It's beyond me. Now, Cambro used to do sports in Connecticut. What the heck? Tony Segreto, sports.
Right.
Now
all the guys, they start out as
Steve
sports
Alvarez.
guys, and they start as sports readers, and then they become news readers.
Steve Alvarez, same thing. And then they put these weather people
Who the hell is Steve Alvarez? Is he on 10?
Right.
I don't watch 10.
Okay,
Ever.
but then there's been some weather people like Teresa Marchetta and the girl on Channel 10. So yes, her name's Teresa. But there's a couple other people that were doing the weather that now they've got them doing news. I don't know.
And what's the story with this Marilyn Mitchell with the cat eyes? What is that all about? Okay, and what kind of a name is that, Mitchell?
I can't watch her at all.
Cat eyes.
I cannot watch her. I find myself watching CNN.
She is one of the most gruesome, grotesque caricatures of a human being I've ever seen in my life, and she's on the news on there.
I know. Well,
no wonder Rick Sanchez is always laughing and squeezing somebody under the desk.
I find myself watching CNN and headline news more often than not. Now, there was a girl that was on Channel 7 down here that went by the name Cinnamon Stouffer.
Right, exactly.
Now she's on headline news in the morning. She's doing very well. Now she's going by her middle name, which is Lisa or whatever. All of a sudden, Cinnamon ain't cute. So, I mean, she grew up. You get on this market.
Stouffer. Like I said, it looks like something you'd find right next to right in the middle of the Shirley baked goods.
You're right. One thing about Silence of the Lambs. When I went to see that movie, whenever it came out 8 years ago, whatever it was, my friend says to me, "We got to go to this movie." I had no idea what it was, After the first maybe 5 or 6 minutes of the movie, not a single person in the theater moved. Nobody got up.
Puts the lotion in the basket.
Nobody got up for sodas. Nobody got up to go to the bathroom. I had no idea what the movie was about. I just sat there and stared at it. I was like, that was one of the greatest movies of all time.
Well, you're getting a little bit carried away.
No,
it was good. It was entertaining.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not something you would watch over and over and over again.
No. I mean,
unless you were studying insects or something like that.
I mean, look, I think the greatest movie of all time was Casablanca. I don't watch that over and over again. No.
Okay.
Inside Out, I thought Casablanca was the greatest of all time. I'm a big Marx Brothers fan, too, but out of the last 10, 15 years, Silence of the Lambs has got to be one of maybe the top 10 movies of the last 10, 15 years.
Have a great holiday.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Well, he liked Casablanca, too. He liked those corny Humphrey Bogart movies. You must remember this. A chicken cannot. Okay, we have an open line in Broward. 5670560. Pound 560 on it. Wasn't that funny, George? Pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Yeah, I sing those kind of things to myself in the shower, by the way, when there's absolutely nobody else, even the dogs are outside. Because I'm not what you call a great zinger key. I'm not, But I do sing some very twisted because I have a sick mind, and I'm very proud of it. I'm very pleased. That's what's gotten me to where I am today, having a very sick, twisted mind, and I'm one of the few who admits it, and proud of it. That's right. That's why as soon as I hear somebody's name, I'm thinking, what can you be rhyming with that, okay? Like Simple Simon the Pieman, stuff like that. But Keyshawn, seriously, I get a chill. It's a tight contest. Forget about the other stuff. Geldy or Keyshawn. Man, that's a real tough one. In fact, how about Keyshawn Goldstein? That would be good. Here's Pompano. Hello.
Neil Meister.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, two things. First of all, I already talked to George before. Your fax machine is not on, or it's not accepting faxes.
Oh, really? No wonder we can't get our stuff from poor Carol over at Center One's probably faxing away.
Yeah, it's not working.
It's not working today. Isn't that great? Just when we need some help in here, like everything else at WQAM, it doesn't work.
It's not be working. All right, real quick.
It's on?
It's on. It's making all the right things.
It ain't working, man.
Noises?
It rings and rings.
What the hell was that? Is your sheep giving us an editorial comment? What the hell was that? What was that? That was unbelievable. Did you hear that? Wow. Barnyard sounds. Yeah.
All right, let me tell you this. You ready?
It's getting to the point I can almost smell it now, yeah. Yes. Go ahead. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Okay, we have an open line at Dade, one in Broward, 5670560 and pound 560. Happy holidays, folks.
Hi, this is Maury Povich.
Yeah.
Happy Hanukkah.
And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and all that. It's already December the 15th. And Chris and Lou, by the way, I never even gave this information for Christ's sake. I'm so wrapped up with this Silence of the Yams business. Chris and Lou in the WQAM van, they're at the Chevron station on the southeast corner of University and Royal Palm in prestigious Coral Springs. Go over there and pick up your Best of Neil CDs and cassettes and T-shirts, and they got a few giveaways. They got maybe some Dolphin T-shirts and a few tchotchkes to give away and our DNA bumper stickers and whatever else they got laying around loose in there. Sam is not with them today. He's probably messing around with some of the oinkers he picked up yesterday at Hooters, so he's otherwise occupied today. So he'll have to settle for Chris and Lou. But they're in their University and Royal Palm on the southeast corner there in the Chevron station. Go over there and help us raise some serious money in the next couple of hours, please. Or else. Here's Coral Gables. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
You were talking about the names and Norman Fell passing.
Yeah.
He once played a character called Meyer on a TV show called 87th Precinct years ago. How's that for redundancy?
Oi!
And I just thought I'd add that in there.
Uh-huh.
And then on the other thing about...
Aren't you glad that we're not hearing about Joe DiMaggio the last couple of days? Don't you feel a lot better about life that we don't have to be brooding over that?
And I'm old enough to have actually seen Joe DiMaggio, but I went to the ballpark to see Hopalong Cassidy, 1951.
William Boyd.
That's right.
And guess what?
He's dead, too.
He's dead, too. And you know who else is dead?
Who else?
Gabby Hayes.
Gabby Hayes. Yep. They're all going.
He was on that show, right? On the Hopalong Cassidy?
Yep. He was a sidekick.
He's dead.
Yeah. And the horse is dead, too, Topper.
Right. That's right. He's dead, too. So it's going around, pal. Good point. Okay, we have an open line in Dade, 56705. Oh, by the way, did you know that, I guess we all knew this, Will Geer, who was grandpa on the Waltons? Who the hell was I reading that? Because I got this awful book, which I thought it was going to be a really good book about fags in Hollywood, which I read over the weekend on the plane, which was, I'll think of the name of it in a minute. Can't think of the name of it. But anyway, don't waste your money on the book. Because, there's nothing in there. There are no revelations. Anybody that's still alive, they they dance all around the edges because they're terrified of getting sued. So there's really no revelation there. But Will Geer, he was a screamer. Did you know that? And I'm trying to think of who it was. Was it him and Charles Lawton? Was that who it might have been? Huh? And poor Elsa Lanchester that married big fat Charles Lawton. She couldn't understand why he kept running around with all those boys. Anyway, it's 11:56. But she was in denial, like a lot of people are in denial, but that's the way the world is, okay? It was good enough for Cleopatra. It's good enough for them. They spend their entire lives in denial. By the way, how's Richie Niles doing? 4 minutes before noon at 560 WQAM.
The Neil Rogers Show, now on 560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
You go to hell and you die.
Poor kids hanging out together. Alien probes in their ass. TV don't get better. The chef just might get late tonight. Cheesy puts the down.
All right.
You're gonna see Stan throw up his guts if Wendy's around. There's Stan, Portland Kyle, and the talking turd. And at least once a week we hear you turd.
You kitty! You bastard!
Oh, the so weird but the wonderful. And Candy States you've never seen. He gets hit in the head, and then he's dead. The rats snore at him, and then they eat his spleen. Oh.
You kitty! You bastard! What's there? You want to know what I think? What?
He's doing something to his ass. He's not kicking his ass, but he's definitely doing something to his ass.
12:02 at 560 WQM. Happy Tuesday today. Don't forget, Hank will be here from the Sporting Brews at 2 o'clock. Bookster's got 4 full hours to fill tonight, but with that fat body, he should be able to do it, 6 to 10. And Ed Kaplan, for all you compulsive gamblers tonight, will try to help you find the numbers for GA, 10 o'clock tonight. So what's the story? The fax machine is not working, is that it? It seems like every... Huh?
Hey, somebody send a fax. See if this thing.
You've heard all the expressions about, trying to overcome hurdles, obstacles in your path, and it seems like on the center one thing here this year, it's like every little thing that you try to do when you feel like you're really starting to make some big progress, there's another hurdle placed in our path, so we can overcome all of these obstacles and make us feel really a lot better about the whole deal. Oh, I guess Carol could probably call you if she has any more information about the border stores from last week, so we can give like a really updated total, which is probably like about 88,000, something like that. And how's Chris and Lou doing out there, by the way, in Coral Springs on the south? What is it?
Dismal.
Bad?
Yeah.
On the corner of University and Royal Palm, the southeast corner at the Chevron station in Coral Springs. There's nobody there. Nobody's coming by to buy the Best of Neil stuff up there in Coral Springs. Like I said, they hate me in Pembroke Pines, and Coral Springs, they hate me like poison. Dismal. There's nobody coming by?
No, yeah. There's the one guy in Coral Springs who's
There's the one guy what?
On line 4, but he says there's nobody there. But
oh. Hello?
Neil.
Yes, sir.
I'm the only one here, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you guys right now.
That's sad.
It is very sad.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people driving by, but nobody coming in.
Well, I just got there like a few minutes ago. We go through this every day. You don't understand. The people in the immediate neighborhood out there, they weren't just kind of sitting around in their cars waiting for Chris to show up.
Yeah, but it's all painted nice and the name's all over it. I mean, you can't miss it.
Right. Even Ray Charles could find it. Okay, well,
assholes out here, man.
Give him some cash and to help us out, and thank you so much in advance. So there's the bad news, okay? There's the one guy, he's looking right at the QAM van right now, at Chris and Lou. They're sitting there, they're lonely, they're waiting, they got the Best of Neil stuff, they got CDs, they got cassettes, they got T-shirts, they got all kinds of crap. And we're waiting for our listeners to come pouring in there from all around that area. Are they pouring in there yet?
No.
You mark my words, by 12:30 we'll have at least $20-30. See, the first couple of days, boy, we really got snowed by this crowd. We really got a snow job. We thought, oh boy, this is going to be a piece of cake every day, no matter what part of town we go into. We'll be able to raise, $800, $1,000 here, $1,500 over there, 12. No problem. Instead of waiting for the people to come to us, we'll just go to them. Is what we're doing. found out yesterday ain't quite so easy. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Rocky Raisin and I got a couple of email addresses together in case if there's anybody out there in your audience who would like to write to the undecided representatives.
Uh-huh.
Because it's a travesty, and Rocky's going to be going up there on Thursday with Jesse Jackson. They're going to do some kind of a protest up front.
Yeah.
The Capitol. So do you want these addresses?
Sure, I guess so. I mean, it doesn't seem to be doing too much good. I mean, I read that whole thing in the paper this morning that 80 and 90% of the calls are all saying no impeachment, and these people are still, whatever you say, we'll do the opposite, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, it's www.house.gov, and the second one is http://congress.org/elecmail, ELECMAIL,
yeah.
.html.
No, I think the first one's a lot easier.
Yeah, you can go to the first one, too.
www.house.gov, yeah.
Mm-hmm. G-O-V.
Right.
Okay, I think this is a travesty. I think it's really unfortunate, and people don't understand the severity of what's going to happen.
No, they're in La La Land. They're too busy worrying about the Hanukkah gift, you know. Okay, pal.
All right, Neil, love you.
Luck.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Okay, we have an open line today. They're too busy worried about, did they get the Furby doll for the kid, and did they get this, and did they get laid, and whatever they got. What we got. That's what they're worried about, what they got. And what you're about to get is screwed, is what you're about to get, because we got a bunch of lunatics up there in Washington, including that Rosanna Dana, Ileana Gross-Leighton. Why do they even bother talking to her? I mean, she admits that she's getting overwhelming people calling and saying no on impeachment. Well, she's going to have to make the vote, and she knows she's going to alienate some people, but she's a good right-wing Nazi and never met a fascist she didn't like. And yeah. Okay, whatever you say, Roseanne. Gilda Radner is turning in her grave just knowing that Ileana Gross-Leighton is walking around looking and acting like that. And she don't even have to put on an act to do it. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Two things. First, I'm really saddened to hear that Norman Fell has been canceled.
He's dead.
Yes.
That's right. His show has been canceled permanently.
Yes. I remember.
He was a good character actor.
He was. He was in that movie Mad World.
Yeah.
Like right in the beginning. It's really interesting seeing him. Also,
and he was in The Graduate, like I said before. Yes.
But he's now an ex-actor, I guess.
He's in Hollywood heaven.
And as for Silence of the Lambs,
what is it?
As you were talking about Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
As great as the movie as it was, the book was much better.
Really?
Really, and so was the first Hannibal Lecter book, Red Dragon.
I read that, yeah.
Yeah, that book kept me up.
Mm-hmm.
So people should go out and read the books, and maybe Thomas Harris will write a third Hannibal Lecter book.
Can I ask you one question?
Sure.
What is a Buffalo Bill?
Okay, we have an open line in Broward. 56705. I think we stumped him on that one. 5670560 and pound 560 on a mobile one line.
$95.
Yeah. They've only been there a few minutes. Usually by this time they call and say $20. We'll get some people out there. Just be patient. Don't keep moving around. Don't keep running away. Just every time they start driving to where we are, then they keep running away just because I said something, okay? Pay no attention to me. Just stay where you are.
They have plenty of dolphin shirts.
To give away.
To give away to anyone who makes a donation.
Anybody makes a donation to Center One, you get a dolphin T-shirt. We got tons of those to give away, which is great. And we got tons of Neil merchandise to help raise money for Center One today. We'll get several $100 up there in Coral Springs. You all know why. We're talking people with some serious money up there, okay? In Coral Springs, that's right. We're not talking about schleppers up there. We're talking about people that probably have too much goddamn money. Give some of it to us, all right? It's tax deductible if you're that cheap. Man, oh man, you have to really prod these bastards. Chevron Station, Southeast Corner, University and World Palm in prestigious Coral Springs. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if even Rimmer goes by there and makes an extra donation, plus the big check he's going to give me at the hockey game tomorrow night. Anybody believe that?
No.
Yeah, I talked to him the other day. He said, by the way, you were right about the decimal point. The thing you didn't understand is they're all zeros on there, before and after the decimal point. But he said it'll look really good, my handing you a check. People really believe there's some money in it. 9 minutes after noon at 560 WQAM.
I want to bang you in the butt, honey.
Okay.
Silent fart, deadly fart. It can tear your nose apart. You can't hear it, but you can tell. Someone did it by that awful smell. What the hell did you eat? It smells just like rotten meat. Silent fart, deadly fart. I cut one at Kmart. I watched a woman's head swivel around. She was wearing a terrible frown. I walked right out of that place with a big smile on my face. Silent fart, deadly fart. Doing it is quite an art. Let one go, but don't look back at the victims of your gas attack. If you're in church when you do, you'll have to stay in your pew. In nomine Patri et Filii et Spiritus Sancti, I want to know who cut the cheese.
12:15 at 560 WQM. I guess the people in this audience like to, really doll up and put on the big suit, the zoot suit. Maybe they even like those black tie affairs and the tie and the whole deal every time they go out to eat. I made that comment before, and I'll stand by it, okay? I appreciate going anywhere in the world. See, up north, down in the south, it's a much more leisurely and casual thing. When you go to Hawaii, it's like that. I guess anywhere where the weather is warm. But up north, like in New York or Chicago or Detroit, there are a tremendous number of restaurants where a guy goes in without a jacket, or maybe in some cases a jacket and a tie. They say, oh, sorry, but see you later. And I would say, okay, I'll see you later. Or in fact, I won't see you later. Blow it out your ass is what I would say. It's like people that, like I've talked about the buffets in Vegas. The buffets, many of them are very good and they're great values, but is it worth standing in line for like an hour and a half, 2 hours for to get a buffet?
No.
Of course not. You've got to be some kind of a jerk. Look at all the money you could be losing during that time. Here's a mobile in Coral Springs. Hello.
How you doing, Neil?
Great.
This is Pete. I just finished going by there. I bought your Best of Neil Part 2.
God bless you, Pete. Thanks for you.
I got my free Dolphins T-shirt.
Right. Is there anybody there?
Oh, yeah. There's like 6 or 7 people.
All right. It's starting to build up some big momentum. There we go.
Yeah, so everybody get off your lazy asses and start donating some money for a good cause.
Especially up there in Coral Springs where all those people have got too damn much money. That's their problem.
Yeah, I'm a service tech. Tell me about it. I used to have people over here in their $300,000 and $400,000 houses.
Right.
Tell them to get their lazy ass up and start donating some money for a good cause.
Okay, thanks a lot, Pete.
All right, Neil.
And have a happy.
All right.
Bye. There's Pete. He helped us out. Chris and Lou, they're waiting for you. We got, what, $165? That's record-breaking this early on, huh? And they'll stay there until we get 10 grand there today is what they said. Now what Chris said, he said, we're going to stick around here till we get 50 grand or else. No, seriously, they'll get a grand. I mean, no problem at all. It's only 12:15. I forgot about it there for a few minutes because I got so overwhelmed with all these great names, these Afrikaner names that we got, like Kunta Kinte or whatever that was. Now, when you come right down to it, wouldn't it be something if we found out that people in Africa, like in Zaire and in Namibia, and all those places over there, if their names were like, Ed? Huh? Like Nelson Mandela. If it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me.
I knew a guy from Ghana, Africa.
And his name was Tom?
His name was Michael.
Michael. How do you like that? Michael Motorcycle. How do you like that? If it's good enough for some guy from where? From Botswana? Okay. Some guy from Brooklyn? I knew a guy from Brooklyn once. His name was Michael. If it's good enough for him, he was white. Italian, I think. Here's a mobile in Weston. Hello.
Hey. How you doing, Neil?
Great.
I was watching Kenneth's Frequency last night. And,
oh, you were the one, huh?
had Al Goldstein on there saying that he sleeps with you and you leave $200 on the bed when you're done.
Oh, that's an old repeat of all his fantasies. Yeah, he only wishes.
Anyways, how about making a dictionary for Ebonics? That way we can decide what their names mean.
Okay. And give Al a big kiss for us, okay? Just anywhere.
That's a gay club, you moron.
Yeah, that Kenneth's Frequency. By the way, that Whammy, is that still on the air? Does anybody know about it? No, we don't know. Forget about it. Open line at day 1 at Broward. And by the way, did not get the check for last week from Miami yet, which is Tuesday already of this week. I do understand it's the holidays, but let's get with it, okay, boys over there? What an operation that turned out to be. That was one of the most astonishing, amazing experiences of my pathetic life. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I have the best Afrikaner name for you.
Yeah.
Tupac Shakur. What do you think of him?
Tupac Shakur, yeah.
Isn't that the best? And about the best movie in the last 10 years? It's
what was his name? Tupac Shakur? Shakur, I think is what they say.
I don't know.
That's what my grandmother always used to say. Shakur is a 2-pack or a 6-pack.
Well, that guy who was saying the last movie in the last 10 years?
Yeah.
Saving Private Ryan.
What is it?
Saving Private Ryan.
Saving Private Ryan was the best movie of the last 10 years?
Yeah, have you seen it?
No.
Oh,
I'll take your word for it, thanks. Was that as good as pubic Pulp Fiction? Don't get me started on that again, please, okay? And by the way, did you know that they put mayonnaise on their fries? They take off their ties and they put mayo on their fries. I like to put that to music, okay? In Amsterdam, before they light up their weed and pick out the seed. That's right. In fact, that's the one place where they don't say hold the mail. We have 2 open lines in Dade, 5670560, pound 560. In fact, when you come right down to it, great movies of the last 10 years. Have there been any great movies in the last 10 years? Great, outstanding, like... no. Of course not. Now, Silence of the Lambs, would you say that was a great movie? Huh? I wouldn't. I would not say that. No, it was a good movie. It was
borderline.
Yeah, it was gripping and it was very good, but it certainly wasn't a great movie. It wasn't like, in the same league with like Lassie Come Home or something like that. Here's a lady in Plantation. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, hi. I got so engrossed in listening, I thought I was on hold.
Me too.
Anyway, I hardly ever call anything like this, but I just was listening to your names, and it was very interesting. I work at a hospital.
Right.
Supervisor, and in the emergency room one time, a young lady came in with her 2 boys, and the tech had to call me over. I said, come on over, you cannot believe these names. I said, what do you mean? And he says, well, I asked the lady what's wrong with her children, and she said, he says, well, can you spell their names, please? And she said, Lamangelo and Orangelo. He said, can you spell that?
Well, maybe they were a pair of fruits.
Lemon-J-E-L-L-O.
Lemangelo and Orangelo.
Orangelo.
The citrus boys, right.
And she says,
oh, I see. Lemon Jello and Orange Jello. Now I got you.
I loved it when I was pregnant.
I love it.
It's too true. It's got to be real, and it was real. I was right there when I saw it. I couldn't believe it.
Thank God they weren't having a boysenberry. Animal wasn't on the list. Have a great day.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. How do you like that? Lemangelo and Orangelo. Oh, God. I hate to break the news to you folks, but there are stupid people reproducing. I know that's a bulletin, okay? I probably shouldn't have said that. During the holidays especially, they get really panicky. There are really ignorant people reproducing, making babies. Open line at Dade, 5670560 and pound 560 on the mobile 1 line.
305.
305 area code?
No.
300. I know what it is. Just relax, okay? Man, are you hyper for... Just because you brought that Hershey's chocolate in this morning...
I've been eating it, too. I finished off the bag.
That's not the point. That is not the point. In addition to which, I would agree, I would finally, you show a little bit of good taste putting it in the refrigerator. That stuff is much...
do that?
Goyim. Goyim don't put... Most Goyim, with you being the exception, don't put chocolate in the refrigerator.
But then it's not crunchy.
Oh, I know. In fact, you know something? When we go to Rome... In the little mini bars that they have in the room, they've got like your sodas and a couple of beer or whatever's in there, and they have and they're not Perugina. I don't know what the hell kind they are, but they're in little blue boxes and they're real hard chocolates, real hard, because in Italy they like it real hard. And boy, are those great! And they wouldn't be nearly as good because I've taken them out of there and left them, sitting, and then they get lukewarm. Not nearly as good, but when they're really good and hard, man, are they good! And the chocolates aren't bad either. Okay, let's go to Boca. Hello.
How you doing, Neil?
Great.
I'm a student at the Marginal Public University in Boca here, and we have an African-American student government president, and he insists whenever his name is in print, it be in all lowercase letters because that is his slave name, the name the white man gave him.
Oh my God! And what do his name be?
Well, his first name is Presley, in fact. So I found quite amusing.
And his last name is Elvis?
Not quite.
His name is Presley?
Presley.
And that's the name that that's his slave name?
That's his slave name. That's what he says.
Right.
I'm not going to doubt him. But
I bet you he hangs out with David J. Neal in his spare time over at the Herald.
Probably.
Okay, thanks for the good news. Say hi to Elvis. Okay.
Hello.
Okay, Presley has just left the building.
Oh!
His slave name. See, I mean, if you're going to live with some kind of a complex, it's like if every fag wants to call himself Bruce, okay? Now, what's a good Bulldyke name? Are there such things as besides Butch? That's not a real name. Well, there's always Butch Davis.
All the masculinated feminine names like Bobby for Barbara. Things
Yeah.
like that.
How about Tommy?
Pat for Patricia.
How about Tommy? We have, there gets to be a point now, there are people who are like their name is Robert, and when they're young, they're Bobby, okay? And as they get to be like, what would be the demarcation point? I think after you get out of now, even in high school, you don't want to be Bobby. Well, maybe, it depends on who you are and what you're all about. But after you leave high school, I would think, like when you go off to college, you go into the real world, you no longer want to be Bobby, you want to be Bob. Just like if your name is Thomas. You know, when you're a kid, you can be Tommy. But when you grow up, like when you get to be past the age of, when you have like a few pubic hairs, Tom kind of like is a little more appropriate. You know who I'm thinking about? I'm sure you do. Hey, don't be knocking my good friend Tommy, okay, that came by shows there in Pembroke Pines. Tommy is okay in my book.
By the way, Debbie in Coral Springs loves you and made a big donation over there at the band.
Thank you, Debbie in Coral Springs. That's for you, sweetheart. How do you like that? We're going to raise some serious bucks up there. I told you. What did I tell you? You asked me this morning. I said, how about Coral Springs? Popped into my mind immediately because I know that's where the goddamn
Only $50.
money is. That's right. That's where the money is. We got a bunch of real serious people up there, including a lot of Jews with some money up there in Coral Springs. I'm not saying the Glam don't have a few bucks, some of them, but the Jews, we got the big bucks, baby. Just ask that guy that wrote the letter to the Herald this morning. Did I say that? I sure hope I did. He doesn't have to speak Spanish or any language he doesn't want to because his money speaks for itself. Nice going, Mr. Samuels over there on Miami Beach. 1226 at 560 WQ.
Get the honey, Junior. But isn't that right, Bobby?
No, she doesn't have it. That's not true at all.
You don't have a penis.
It's an underdeveloped penis. That's what I was told when I was a small child.
Bobby, isn't it the fact that it's really...
You were told as a small child, you said that you were a hermaphrodite.
I was told a lot of things when I was a small child.
So were you lied to, Bobby?
I don't think I was lied to about my past. No, not
Did
at all.
you live your life in your early and formative years as a woman?
Yes.
And it is totally my whole life.
How?
I have to wonder. I'm a very athletic person. I've always been a jeans and t-shirt type girl. I wonder when I put on clothes if I look like a dyke.
Uh-huh.
I wonder if the way I wear my hair, if people are going to think I'm a dyke.
Uh-huh.
I wonder what people are thinking about me. Sometimes I wonder how in the hell did I let this happen to me? How could I be so stupid?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's 12:30. I was just sitting back. I was so engrossed in that, I forgot we were even doing a show here. I was reliving that whole show all over again. I mean, just take a look at that thing again, sweetheart. Does it look like a... No, well, maybe it is. Here's a mobile in Venice. Hello.
Hello, Uncle Neil.
Maybe it's just a Wonder Worm. Yes, sir.
What's up? Long time no talk.
And?
Hey, I got a name for you.
Yes, sir.
Famali.
Tamale?
Famali.
Hot tamale?
Famali.
Yeah.
I'll spell it for you.
Okay.
F-E-M-A-L-E.
S-E-M-A-L-E?
F.
F.
As in Frank.
F as in fart? Okay. F-E.
M-A-L-E.
Oh, yeah, right.
True story.
Yeah.
Who was on the birth certificate? That's what they called the little girl. Hey, Famali, come here.
All right, there you go. That's like Lamangelo and Orangelo.
Orangelo?
Uh-huh.
Hey, those hockey owners are full of crap, you know what I mean? They're not losing money.
Whatever you say.
That's all bookwork BS.
Well, maybe since Wayne got in the league, they had a good teacher anyway.
So he's helping all those guys out, just like in the baseball.
Okay, pal, say hi to Molly.
Can I call someone a douchebag?
Yes.
Bye.
See ya. We have an open line at Dade 1 in Broward, 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how are you?
Great.
In my former life as a teacher, I had 2 kids from the islands, and this is their real name, was Dorcas and Doofus.
Uh-huh.
Seriously.
And we used to just call them Dork for short.
I'm telling you
I
the
knew
truth.
a Dorcas. You knew a Dorcas? I've known many Dorks in my time.
And also on the...
Did you really know a Dorcas?
Female.
Yeah, this was a girl. It was a definitely
girl. That's a girl's name, Dorcas?
Mm-hmm.
As in ESS.
ISS. Dorcas.
DORCASS.
No, that's Dorcas. And this is Dorcas.
Pronounced it Dorcas.
Mm-hmm.
And on the death watch, did you see where Mr. Roper died?
Who?
Norman Fell.
Oh, no, Mr. Roper. Yeah, Norman Fell. We've had that on 100 times today. We got the death watch cooking on this show.
Okay, well, you got it, man.
We're in the right town for it. Have a great day.
You too.
Norman Fell is dead.
Boy!
We have an open line in Dade County, 5670560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. I think just like you're going to find, by the way, keep your eye on the death watch. Republican Party is going to be on there very soon. The entire party, dead as a doornail, very, very soon. In fact, all you libertarians have been waiting in the wings for that little opening, that little crack, even though you're all full of crap. Just wait now. I think they got a giant crack there in the Republican Party. That big elephant's got a real crack problem. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello?
No.
Yes, sir.
My wife is a school teacher, and she had two students. One was named Keith, and the other one was Keith On. No lie.
Keith On?
Keith On.
Keith On.
Like Keith On, Keith and On. Keith On. Maybe Keith On Trucking.
All right. Great.
Yeah.
So what do they call Keith On for short? Not to be confusing him with Keith. Thong.
Thong.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know a couple of good thongs. Maybe I'll sing one for you. Thanks a lot, pal. We have two open lines in Dade, 56705. Like I said, there's illiterate people out there making babies. You're cursing your children. Like I said before, do a great service at this holiday time if you've named your kid a horrendous, gross, unacceptable name. Put a new birth certificate in there with a brand new name, and number 2, right on the card. By the way, we lied to you. There is no Santa Claus. There's no Tooth Fairy, and there's no God. We made all that up. What?
$455.
There you go. We're moving along, singing a song. $455 up there in Coral Springs. On our way to 1,000 and a real quick grand. We damn well better do by 2 o'clock, or else I want to know why. Let me say it again. We got the WQAM van right there at the Chevron station, corner University and University Drive, Royal Palm Boulevard, southeast corner. We got all that best of stuff. We got a free Dolphin T-shirt for anybody and everybody that makes any donation to Center One. So go up there and let us raise 20 or 30 or 40 million there and cut the crap. Then maybe even Buddy Nevins will write something in his newspaper column about how they raised over 100 grand. You think he'll do that?
No.
No, he won't. By the way, is he coming up with a donation for us?
No.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Buddy Nevins will come through for us, just to hold your breath. Here's a lady in Cooper City. Hello.
Hi, Uncle Neil. How you doing?
Great.
Merry Hanukkah.
And back to you. Happy Christmas.
Did I hear you say earlier that there was a legal seafood on its way?
Yes.
No.
Right out there in West Broward, somewhere by the Sawgrass.
In the mall or?
I don't know. I really am not sure. But regardless of where it is, isn't it great?
Holy smokes, that's wonderful.
Yeah, that's a sensational place.
I would go up to Boston just to eat there.
I agree. It's
dynamite. That's wonderful. Well,
just for the chowder alone.
Oh my God, that's good news. So you don't have any the whens, the wheres, and the whys.
No.
Just it's.
Oh, and by the way, I shouldn't have mentioned that because my friends at Shells will get psychotic now, but it's kind of a different category.
Yeah, no. These are just apples and oranges.
Right.
It's that's good
They're
news.
like lemons and oranges.
Something like that. Talking about the names, I mean, I think the problem with names is when we start getting into some of these soap opera names. I mean, where did they get these names? Were Hart and Harley and these names are the weird ones. I mean, who's naming their kid Harley? Except
well,
on
a lot of guys
opera.
want to ride a Harley.
Yeah. Speaking of Harley, did they ever get the original Harley back? I missed a couple of guiding lights. I know.
What do you mean the original?
For like a couple of episodes, they had somebody else who was not.
Oh no, she's back.
Oh, okay. And
but the original Michelle, you won't see her no more.
No.
Somebody cursed her with the ugly stick overnight, and now she just. I mean, how could they do that? How can you take somebody who's one of the most beautiful young women I've ever seen in my life and replace her with this real dumpy looking bitch? I just don't get it.
This one's permanent.
Yes.
It's like what's her name? Like Bridget.
Yeah, exactly. Like Bridget on a bad day with a bad do.
Yike. Oh, well. Anyway, can I make a shameless request?
Yes, ma'am.
Something my husband has always wanted to hear, and I know you don't like playing it, but if maybe you could squeeze it in. Jack in the Box?
Okay.
Thanks. Have a good one.
See ya.
Bye.
Okay, we have an open line at Broward, 5670560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. If you can name the last 6,000 characters on Guiding Light who've been written out of the show, we'll give you a prize. Here's a lady in Palm Beach. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, ma'am.
I can.
I'll bet you
I'm
can.
another Guiding Light lady.
All right.
That new Michelle, she was the She was Reva's clone when she was a teenager. Remember her?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they brought her back.
They brought her back. Now, that makes it even worse.
Well, yeah, they liked her so much.
They must think we all have Alzheimer's that are watching that show. And you know something? Because she did look familiar. I thought, boy, she was the little girl Reva who was only on for a very short period of time because she was getting older by the second.
They thought she was so great, they decided to bring her back.
That is unbelievable. I mean, she is so grotesque looking. And the other Michelle, I mean, there were guys who were just hyperventilating every time she was on the screen, I'm sure. And they all of a sudden they got the ugly stick right in her nose.
The casting is getting terrible.
Man.
Guess who else is leaving?
Well, I'm sure Holly's on the way out.
Dinah and Hart are leaving.
Oh, Dinah's leaving. Thank God. Oh, God, Dinah.
But
we'll pack you a sandwich. Nothing could be finer than to get rid of that bitch Dinah.
They're just going to recast the role, though.
Oh, I see.
They're going to have a new Dinah, new Hart. The actors are leaving. But that's not why I called. You're leaving out the best name of all. You remember a basketball player named God Sham God?
Oh yeah, that's right, God Sham God. He was kin to Sham God.
What is up with that?
What is up with it is that the more that people are into sports, the dumber they tend to be. The more fanatical they are, the more idiotic, and they will accept any kind of crap, no matter how moronic it is. So these jocks can get away with this stuff, and people will obediently call them whatever name they come up with.
They'll actually dignify
like
it.
Keyshawn.
What's so stupid is that's not his name. His parents gave him a nice, ordinary name.
And just like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and the Dolphins, who all of a sudden had to cut the crap and cut down to Kareem because he got sued by the real Kareem, whose name was Lou Alcindor, by the way. I don't get it. I just don't understand it.
I don't get it. It's like
what kind of a statement is it to change your name? Unless you do it for showbiz purposes, like some of us phonies. But what is the statement that you're making?
Especially if your parents gave you a nice, ordinary name.
Like Cassius Clay, I can understand why you changed that name because it's a crappy name to begin with. But Muhammad Ali?
God Sham God is the worst.
That is the best. And God bless you, Sham God. Yeah, okay. We have an open line in Broward. Boy, a lot of guiding light stuff today. There you go. They're going to come back with this guiding light stuff. Now they brought Alex back. We want the original Alex back. That's what we want. She was the best. Nobody threw a temper tantrum like Alex, not even me. 20 before 1 at 560 WQM.
Jimmy Carter's looking for a miracle. The former president is trying to push puss in Bosnia.
Hey, how the hell are you? Welcome to Jack in the Box. I'm Jack, and I'll be happy to fill your order, if you know what I mean.
I'd like a Jack burger and a large fries.
Sorry, pal, we're cleaning the grease fryer. We don't have any French fries today.
Oh, okay. Then just give me a small order of fries, please.
Look, Chief, maybe you didn't hear me. I said we don't have any fries today, so how about something else?
Oh, okay. Then just give me an order of fries.
Listen up, pal. Who put the straw in strawberry?
Nature did.
That's right, nature did. Who put the ape in apricot?
Nature did.
That's right, nature did. Now listen carefully. Who put the freak in French fries?
There ain't no freak in French fries.
That's what I've been trying to tell you, butt breath. There ain't no freak in French fries. Now get out of my sight before I shove your teeth so far down your throat you'll have to sit on a Jack burger to eat it. Oh, have a nice day.
Thank you. 1246. Did I really just play that now? We were talking, thank God, during the bit. I didn't hear it. Okay, we have an open line at date 5670560. No, seriously, that works very well for me. If I play something that they're desperate to hear and I just can't hear it one more time, will just put me over the edge. I just go pop, 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 pop during the whole thing off the air. Maybe sometime I'll start doing that on the air. Pop, 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 and then they'll stop asking for that stuff. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How's it going?
Great.
Picked up your CD. It's great.
Thank you.
I remember when I was in high school, I knew a very dark-complected guy named Casper. That was his actual name.
Casper the Friendly Dark-Complected Ghost?
Yes, Casper.
Yeah.
And about the movie, my favorite movie, Goodfellas.
Yeah, it's okay. I give it a 8.5.
I like it because Joe Pesci says a lot of bad words.
There you go. Okay. Have a great life, pal. What did Joe Pesci say in that? What did he say?
Please don't say the F word.
Oh, okay. And he said, and other than that, yeah, he said that. Oh, and listen, I'm leaving those things down there for you, okay? Your little special bank of vulgarities there.
That's the only one I have in here.
Disgusting, grotesque, and unacceptable. We have an open line, and it's in Dade County. 5670560. $660 up in Coral Springs for one so far today. I told you if we get out of those schlepper areas like Pembroke Pines where all those old farts are at Cemetery Village. That area out there at Pines and University, by the way, I don't know what you call that. Besides crap. That's just not our area out there. Pines and University.
They got that giant Super Publix right there, like a block away.
Yeah. I know that area very well. I used to work at INZ right up the street up there in Carroll City.
It's a hustling, bustling intersection.
No, there's no hustling going on there. I mean, there's no bustling. There's a lot of old people live out there. It's like and a lot of Davy rednecks probably in that area. A lot of crap walking around on the loose. That's just not our part of town. This is a real good exercise, by the way. We're finding out where you are and where you are not.
720.
So look at that. It's zooming up there. Zooming up to 1,000 and lots more than that probably by the time 2 o'clock rolls around. I told you, Coral Springs today, Weston tomorrow. Weston tomorrow. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we go to Weston, that Suds probably comes by with a big fat one tomorrow, maybe a check too. Huh? What is his real name? I've got a block.
Selborne.
Oh, Selborne, that's right. We don't want to get him in trouble over there, so we won't say it's from Suds. We'll just say it's from some guy named Selborne. And no, don't hold up that picture. Seriously, if you don't look, this is Suds Coleman as a kid.
That's Holden Caulfield.
With the geeky glasses. Is that a high school picture?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, he was the most good. He looked like Jerry Wichner in Drag on a Bad Day. God almighty. I bet you he's embarrassed as hell. Damn it. That we found that thing. Here's Sunrise. Hello.
Hi, Neil. How are you?
Great.
I wanted to share a story with a name with you. I was a school teacher up in Washington, D.C. in the early 70s, and there was a family who had a lot of kids. Their last name was King, and the mother was pregnant, went to the hospital, but they realized they didn't have a name for the kids.
Right.
So they are frantic. They're sitting there, what else can we name the kids? They had like 10 or 11 kids. So they finally had the baby. One of the brothers was in my class. They came in, the kid comes in the next day. I said, what'd you name your new brother? And he said, No Smo. I said, well, where the hell did you get a name like No Smo? He said, well, my papa was waiting in the waiting room, and there was this great sign that already had our name in it.
Oh, my gosh.
So this kid went through school as No Smo King. And
oh my God! I didn't get the part. Their last name was King.
Yeah, King.
No Smo King.
No Smo was this for kid's first name.
Oh my gosh!
Great.
And my wife
makes me feel real optimistic about the future of America.
My wife was a school teacher in the late '80s.
Yeah.
She had 2 twins in her class, Toshiba and Sony.
Oh, I love that.
So. When you're saying that
whole
we
new
have
plan in the whole classroom, I would think.
When you say we have illiteracy now, obviously these people are reading.
That's a good point. Excellent.
So they're reading, they're finding these names, and it's creating a remarkable thing. Last note, yesterday was a real tough day for me. I bought your Best of cassette. It changed my day. Thank you very much.
And God bless you.
Feel much better.
Thanks a lot.
See you later.
No Smo. How you be doing, No Smo? That'd be good. We have an open line in Broward, 567. You see, it pays to go to school and get an education, okay? If you're going to reproduce, if you're going to make babies, then at least if you have an education, you might be able to name your kids like a real name instead of burdening them with some kind of illiterate bullcrap, some No Smo.
Oh, my God.
Woo! Heavy duty. But I'm glad that woman called before about God, Sham God. That is my favorite. That's even better than X-Ray Hip or Extra Hip or whatever that other goofball was.
800.
800. We're smoking up there, baby. That total is zooming up there. We might get to like 20, 30 million by the end of the day. Keep the cash, by the way, on the side, guys. $800 already, and they've only been there like less than an hour that I announced it because I forgot because we were busy talking about like illiterate assholes out there. $800 for Center One up there in Coral Springs. I told you, I know where it's at. Don't be wasting your time over there in Sweetwater. And in fact, on, let's see, tomorrow is Wednesday. Thursday, we'll go in like to where the real big bucks are. We'll go into like Overtown. Huh? No, seriously, let's not discriminate here. Let's go into parts of town where they're like real dark-complected people, some of whom might be named No Smo, as a matter of fact, and we'll get some cash, okay? Huh? Well, it might not be easy to get it, but we'll get it. Here's a mobile in Hialeah. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
What about Warwick?
Warwick Dunn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a name.
Let me ask you something. It always disturbed me that FSU had a guy named...
Peter Warwick.
Huh?
A guy with the same last name.
He had the same last name as somebody else's first name. What are the odds on that? Do you really buy that? I'm not buying it.
It was Peter Warwick as the other guy.
Yeah.
Hey, the other thing is...
a big black guy named Peter.
What about Mahmoud Abdul?
Yeah, somebody mentioned that. That's my favorite, Mahmoud. Sounds real Jewish and Arabic to me.
All right, that's all right.
And have a great day. Isn't that what the Germans say when they're not feeling too good? I'm in a real Mahmoud today. We have an open line in Dade, 5670560, pound 560 on the Mobile One line. We ought to send Robert Grieper to Germany. He can just keep saying, nein, nein, huh? That'd be good. All right, don't get me started on those Germans now. They know how to name their people. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Neil?
Great.
You know what really is strange to me is when they name their children like Brian and they spell it Bryon.
Yeah, strange. That's another good point. Strange spellings. Yeah, I think
Michael, Michol.
Yeah.
Or Mychol.
Now there could be a real good reason for that. I don't think it's all that complicated. Maybe illiteracy might have something to do with that.
Well, what about Orenthal?
Yeah.
Like O.J. Orenthal? Maybe he was the original.
And now that you mentioned it, I never heard no other...
Oh, man.
Orenthal.
Anyway, in closing, Jets, Jets.
Okay, good luck to you, pal. Nice call. But they got to play the Bills again this week. You got a real schedule problem there, sir. I don't want to get started on that stuff, but boy, that's the one thing that Jimmy... I'm not going to get on that because then somebody will call about it. I don't want to discuss it. But haven't I been telling you, even though I avoid that discussion like the plague, that Jimmy hasn't shown me a damn thing in the time that he's been here? Not squat. Well, the chart says you go for 2. Yeah, the chart says. Like you have to look at the chart. Give me a break. And another thing about Jimmy, I don't want to get started on this, pretend you didn't hear me say this, but you notice how he never makes any mistakes. He never makes a bad judgment during a game. He never calls a bad play. It's always, Danny overthrew it, somebody did this, that. Never. The least humility of anybody I've ever seen in my life. And it's always the media's got a bad attitude and this one's doing that. Put up or shut up, JJ, okay? I don't want to talk about it, but I just mentioned it in passing for all the people that continue kissing his big fat rectum all the time. Not to mention Geldy. Don't get me started on Geldy again. I'm feeling really great. I'm in a good mood right now. I got myself out of that deep depression I was in after hearing his voice briefly this morning. After hearing him doing that stupendous sucking. Supercilious, stupendous sucking. How would Brian Murray say that? 12:55 at 560 WQAM.
The Neil Rogers Show, now on 560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
It's not just the 1 to 2 hour. It's a phenomenon.
Girls, are you lonely? Do you sit around weekends waiting for the phone to ring so you can just talk to somebody? Can you only date after dark? Well, if you answered yes to these questions, you're probably a pig. If that's the case, don't stick your head in the oven just yet. We have a plan for you. Just call Romance for the Nearly Blind. Our helpful representatives will find a compatible mate for you that is nearly or totally blind. Just one phone call to 1-800-I-SEE-FUZZY, and you can be in the arms of the man of your dreams. And he wears cool shades. So call today. Don't delay. That's 1-800-I-SEE-FUZZY.
Minute after 1 at 560 WQAM. I wonder if that has anything to do with those heifers that hang around right down there by the glass at the hockey games I was talking about last week. You know, the ones with their petunia pig noses and their big fat puppies that press their thing right up against the glass and their nose too? Maybe that's what they were talking about. Okay, so some nice listener brought by not only some money for Center One, but also 6 pair of clip-on sunglasses. So the next 6 people that come by up there for Chris and Lou and our QAM fan will get a pair of those and a dolphin T-shirt and a partridge in a pear tree if you make a donation. $900 already in less than an hour. That's pretty goddamn impressive. Nice going, Coral Springs. Coral Springs, I think, is going to win a goddamn jackpot. That's what we ought to do, is make this in a kind of a contest. Now, where did we do the other day, last week? We started out...
Plantation.
Oh, yeah, University and Broward. Well, that was a gimme. And we did about, what, $1,200 there? We're going to do better than that. And then we went, the day after that, they went where?
The Grove, sort of.
No, US 1 and 27th Ave.
Yeah. On the other side of the highway from the Grove.
Yeah. Grove-ish, kind of. And did over $1,000 there, like $1,086, I think, something like that. And Coral Springs is going to take the lead today. Oh! They're racing off into the lead in Coral Springs. Here's South Miami. Hello.
South Miami?
Yes, sir.
I have three names for it. I went to school with these guys, and the first one is Dijon Brown.
Yeah.
Dijon.
Yeah, we got a Deshaun that's a driver at Pompano Park, a harness driver, Deshaun. His daddy be Dwayne, and he'd be Deshaun.
No, this is a B with a B.
Oh, Bichon.
Bichon.
Bichon? Bichon Frise?
Yeah, Bichon Brown.
Yeah.
And another one was Hushang Robertson.
Hushang.
And another one was Tukon, and of course we called him Tukun. Tukun Jackson.
Tukun, two-pack, six-pack. Okay, thanks, whatever you said. What did he say? He said he was a rich tycoon is what he said. We have an open line and date, 5670560, pound 560. We need to all bring America together, and we can't do that by coming up with a bunch of stupid oddball names, okay? Everybody should be John and Jim and Ed and Mary and Sally and Nancy. That's it. No more names. We're cutting them off right there. Now, granted, then you would, in a crowd, you say, hey, Jim, and 28 guys turn around. I'm waiting for an update here because it looks really frantic. Yes?
2020. Thank you, Bruce and Jackie Ziegler, for putting us over.
Thank you, Bruce and Jackie Ziegler, for putting us over the top, so to speak. Oh, Coral Springs in a romp, decimating the other communities in this town, really showing them where it's at, and the cash, too. $1,020 already, and we still have almost an hour to go. So let's see. Let me just figure that out. Boy, that's 86. I bet you if we ever got those totals from the other 7 border stores, we got to be getting close to 90 grand right now.
Oh!
We're going to make that 100 in spite of all you naysayers out there, in spite of people who said, nah, you never do it. And it's a tremendous help that they're getting this QAM van thing going. I think that's great. I think the fact that I held a 357 Magnum to Bluff's head, and I said, you better get that promotion department involved in this and the radio station involved. And he said, okay. That's what he said. It's helping tremendously. See, you can't do it all by yourself, okay? Sometimes in life you got to do it by yourself, but every once in a while you need a helping hand. Here's a mobile in North Miami. Hello?
How you doing, Neil?
Great.
You want to know what's wrong with America after this Bill Clinton debacle?
Yeah.
It's the good old boy network system, still alive and kicking. You got Henry Hyde, who had a kid he was married, had a kid with some other broad.
No.
And this guy's leading the whole campaign against Clinton.
No, that was Dan Burton that had the kid. Henry just had the affair.
Oh, he just had the affair.
Outrageous. Yeah.
It's the effing American way.
And don't forget about Mary Bono, who sat on the Judiciary Committee, was screwing around for 12 years, and Sonny, that's why his will is all up in the air.
Yeah, they're a bunch of hypocrites up there.
Right.
And same thing down in Florida.
That's their motto up there. Don't screw as I screw. Just, keep in your pants.
The Florida legislature, it's the whole good old boy network system working. It's to this day, get all these damn rednecks out of there. I'm sick of them all.
Okay, pal. I'll see you at the passport office. Il Officino di Passaporto. We have an open line in Broward, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Tamarack. Hello.
I got a quick story for you.
Yes, sir.
Going back on these names things. Me and my wife used to go to the mall every year, and I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's the Salvation Army tree where you take a name off the tree, you go buy a gift for a child that needs a gift for Christmas.
No, I've seen those Salvation Army people swinging their bell and with their big bucket.
Well, they got this thing in all the shopping malls. It's a big Christmas tree, and it's got these pieces of paper. You take a piece of paper off the tree, it has a kid's name on it. You go buy the present, then you bring it back to the spot, and then they give it out during Christmas.
Alleged, yeah.
Alleged.
I'm sure they do, yeah.
Yeah.
Alleged.
So anyway, me and my wife used to do this every year. We take a name, and 9 times out of 10 it was one of these Tishambi or Toshibo or one of these.
Toshibo, yeah, Antonio.
Right.
Antonio and Antonio.
You there?
I'm here.
Okay, so next year we come up and we're gonna take a name, and all of a sudden the names are gone. So it always says is boy and girl. So I asked her, there happened to be a black lady running, I said, how come they don't have the names on the ticket anymore? She said, well, why do you think so? I said, I don't understand. What do you mean? She said, well, why do you think they ain't got no name on it no more?
Yeah.
I said, I have no idea. I'm asking you a question.
You asked her a question, yeah. She said, oh. Okay, whatever. We have an open line, and I see. Those were the names. 5670560. I guess I'm a little slow today. Is it just me?
No.
I think we're all trying to catch up with that. Okay, let's go to a mobile in Westchester. Hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm a Colombian, and we use first name, a middle name, and then we use 4 last names. I'll tell you mine. My name is Osvaldo Gabriel Jaramillo Patiño Betancourt Molina.
Excuse me. Yeah. Did he say Besame-culo? I think he said that in the middle of it, yeah.
No. It's Osvaldo Gabriel.
Osvaldo, dame la... Yeah.
Jaramillo, Patiño, Betancourt.
Paramino, Pingo, Maricone.
That's right, all those.
Wow.
Yeah,
How the hell do you keep track of all that in the middle of those drug deals, man? It must be getting pretty confusing.
Well, that's why we need all those names.
Yeah, they're a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
So
I'm not Domingo Javier. I'm Domingo Xavier, something like that.
We usually use saint names still. You know, like my middle name is Saint Gabriel.
Yeah.
And my sisters, 3 of them are named Maria.
Okay, I'm right
so you might enjoy that.
Catch up. Okay, amigo. Hasta que me olvides. Okay. Trace that call. He's got some bad stuff. We have an open line in Broward, 5670560, pound 560. I mean, I guess I'm very naive. At my old advanced age, I thought like John Smith, Mary Jones, Sid Schwartz. You know, I thought that's what life was all about. Keep it simple. There are enough other complicated, depressing, annoying things in life besides making a big simus out of your name. Why does a name have to be a big song and a goddamn dance, okay? If you don't like your name, make up a good, easy name, like Donald O'Connor, something like that. Shinehead O'Connor. But all these crazy, hyphenated, it's like that thing with the Asians. They have no choice but to be very highly educated because just to learn their alphabet takes them about 10 years. 9 minutes after 1 at 560 WQAM.
Oh, my God! Just south of Route 9, about a mile past the cement plant, there's a colorful little place where the good old boys gather.
Could I have a beer, please?
City boy, you look more like a sody pop to me.
You'll enjoy visiting with the local residents.
Hey, Four Eyes, quit looking at the woman.
Oh, I wasn't looking at you.
You calling me a liar?
Well, no,
All right, you little dork. I'm on a horse with you.
So bring your camera and maybe a gun. But don't bring your American Express card, because at Cousin Lester's Sluts and Booze Roadhouse, they only take Visa.
Hold it down, boys, while I take off my belt.
Visa. It goes everywhere you want to be, and a lot of places you don't.
12 minutes after 1 at 560 WQM, the Hank Goldberg Show from the Sporting Brews at 2 o'clock. Now, Chris, the nephew, said what? He said people are having trouble finding the joint because they haven't said often enough where the place is?
Yes.
The Chevron station on the southeast corner of University and Royal Palm in Coral Springs, which I've said at least 2-3 billion times just in the last hour and 20 minutes. They'll find it. We got over $1,000 already. They must be finding it. They're looking for it. Okay? They got out their spyglass. They'd be looking for it. Southeast corner, University and Royal Palm in Coral Springs. Just look for the big QAM van. It's all, dollied up like a piece of stuff. Here's Miramar. Hello.
Hi, Neil. How you doing?
Great.
I'm hearing a lot of racist undertones with the names today.
Undertones?
Yeah. I mean,
what does that mean?
I'm just hearing a lot of negative feedback with these names.
Well, I think that's the point of this whole thing, is that those kind of names create a lot of divisiveness.
I mean, I know.
What's the point of coming up with these crazy non-conventional names? What's the point?
Because I'm black, and I think a lot of people name their kids these names to just further differentiate, to separate themselves from whites.
Why?
Because they hate them.
Okay, thank you. Okay, great. There you go. There's the best call we've had all year. It's the end of the year, but there's the best call we've ever had. Black people are coming up with these names, he says. Here's a brother who calls in to say, on the one hand, that he hears a lot of racial undertones. So, in other words, but if black people hate white people, that's not racism. Is that correct?
Uh-huh.
Thank you. Thank you for the education lesson. I see. It's like people that peddle this idea that if you speak English correctly, if you're a black person in this country, not other countries, because black people in other countries speak perfect English the way I'd be speaking right now. They do not ask no questions. But if you speak English the way honkies do, then that suddenly makes you honky-ish, okay? And that takes away your black identity. As if, on the one hand, don't pay attention to my skin color, this guy is saying, and don't be a racist. But on the other hand, I want to name myself some freaky name or my kid some freaky-ass name because we want to be as far away from the white people as possible, which I just don't get it. But I'm glad that now we learned the lesson. Huh?
1360.
1360? Oh, my God.
Thank you, Sentinel Fire Protection.
Woo! Sentinel Fire Protection, whoever they are. Thank you profusely.
Check.
Huh?
They brought by big check.
$1,360, and it's only $115. The little hand is on the big hand. It's exactly $115. That last call, man, you could sit and you could analyze that for hours just thinking about what that guy. I could have left him on a lot longer, but I think to chop it right at that point was the exact appropriate spot to chop it. So we can just kind of digest and swallow and spit out and out of our system everything that he just said. I thought we were like all trying to, wasn't, what's his name that said, can't we all just get along? Huh? Rodney King, didn't he be saying that? Can't we all just get...
There's a normal name.
Yeah, Rodney King. Rod. What's wrong with the Rod? If it was good enough for Hot Rod Hundley. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil, what be happening?
How you be doing?
I be doing fine.
All right.
Hey, I know you brought up, you didn't want to bring up the sports intensive, but why is it that in this town they talk about the game coming up a week before, after they lose the game, they still keep calling up asking what we could have done with it? And I agree with you. Jimmy Johnson...
Well, let me ask you this. What else are they going to talk about? You know, when you come right down to it, now listen to me. It's like talking about sawdust, okay? No, seriously. How many different things could we, if you and I wanted to have a conversation about sawdust, how long could that conversation last? And it's the same thing on a sports station. The whole concept, believe me, I want us to make billions of dollars here, everybody to do well, but the concept of a sports station, especially in a non-sports town like this to begin with, is ludicrous. I mean, there's such a limited number of things they can talk about, which is why it's so ponderous and repetitive, and you keep hearing people say the same thing over and over and over again. Even if these people knew what they were talking about, which they don't, it still would be ponderous because there's only so many ways to describe sawdust.
And the best part is when these analysts analyze things, they all say, if you listen to them, the defense has got to stop the scoring, the offense has got to score a lot, and the special teams have got to make big plays.
I'm coming home from the track last night, and some young guy, not a kid, but some young guy calls in and asks Ed Kaplan with a straight face. He says, Ed, you think our defense can compete with Denver in that game next week? Now, even somebody who pays as little attention as I do knows the Dolphins probably have the best defense in the whole league, okay? What kind of a question is that? The Dolphins' problem is their defense. It's a lack of offense. It's no offense, okay? And here's the guy with a straight. It's like the kid that called Ed at the beginning of the baseball season. Ed, you think Lebon's going to win 20 games this year? I mean, these people.
Speaking of the Marlins, adios to the shortstop, eh?
Well, there you go again. As goes to show you, no matter who the owner is, you're still going to get screwed. And don't anybody get sucked into that Dave Dombrowski propaganda they're going to put on a morning show tomorrow, and Geldy's going to suck it up and lap him on both cheeks of his rectum. That's right. Don't believe that, okay? He was eligible for arbitration. His salary is going to go from $225,000 a year to $1.5 million, and they're still looking to make more and more cutbacks. John Henry or no John Henry? They're still going to give you a mediocre garbage product out there, and I'm telling you again, just say no to the Marlins, to anybody in baseball, just say no. $15 million a year for a goddamn pitcher. I mean, this is just, I don't care if Kevin Brown is the nicest guy that ever stepped on the face of the earth, and quite frankly, as far as I'm concerned, he's a carpetbagger. He's a carpetbagger. They don't even stay around long enough to have any credibility. That's the deal with him. He's like a whore for rent by the hour. Where are we going? Here's a mobile in Hialeah. Hello.
Neil, how are you?
Great.
Okay, so you know these are real names. I spent 5 years in the trophy business. So these are the names I got for you. I can't say the word, but I'll spell it for you, and I'll pronounce it. It's pronounced Shatheed.
Yeah.
S-H, you can fill in the rest, H-E-A-D, Shatheed. That's an actual name.
Huh.
Last name was Day, D-A-Y. First name spelled T-I-M-A, Tima.
Time of day.
This was the best
All right.
one. This is the greatest one. I had to ask the teacher to spell this twice. The last name is Cates, K-A-T-E-S. The first name was Lubra. L-U-B-R-I.
Oh, no.
It was pronounced Luberry or something.
Oh, no, lubricates.
Lubricates.
I bet he does.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for the good news. Okay, how you be doing, Lubra? Maybe he knows Lubra Abrazzi. We have an open line in Broward, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Do we denote some racist undertones to all of this?
Uh-huh.
The only racist undertones I noticed were the ones that that guy was talking about how we hate the white people like poison and we don't want your names. Okay, well, guess what? You can't have our names. How do you like that? Whatever our names are, like Al. Any black guys named Al?
No.
There's always Malcolm on the Young and the Horny. What's wrong with Malcolm? Nothing that I can see with the naked eye. But seriously, I mean, there's a name. I'm Malcolm. Everybody likes Malcolm. He's not too dark, not too light. He's just like kind of like light mocha, right in between, just right. Okay, where are we going? Here's Davey. Hello.
Hello, Neil?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'd like to say I do detect some racist undertone.
Yeah.
I have to say, but that guy that called earlier about the blacks hating whites was worse than anything else said.
Yeah.
But a lot of this stuff...
Well, no, but that's the point I'm trying to make to you, is that when people do things that are illiterate, it creates a stereotype, and you think, my God, if there are people who are too stupid to even be able to name their kids with like a real name, like lemon jello and orange jello, what are we to be talking about here?
Well, it's one thing with, Americans naming, spelling your names and naming, but it's also a thing like, an Italian guy named Giuseppe, a Jew named Gilad, an Arabic named Mahmoud or Muhammad.
Yeah, right.
We have no problem with people, if they come to this country.
I don't know, other than that one guy, I don't know any other Mahmouds, though. That's the only Mahmoud I know, is the football player.
Well, if you go in the Middle East, there's a lot of... Well, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, the basketball player.
I mean, the basketball, whatever the hell he is, Rauf, yeah.
But another thing is, as far as, God, sham God, I really don't care. I'm atheist, so he can name himself whatever he wants.
But what kind of a name is that, though?
If he has a big ego, let him name himself God.
And X-ray
it's a
hip?
stupid idea, but, X-ray hip is just ridiculous. But,
how about his brother, X-ray? How about him?
But another thing is on the Ebonics issue.
Yes, sir.
See, and I hear a lot of the whites, especially Southern whites, making fun of blacks with Ebonics. Most
Well, that's
Southern
like the
whites,
pot calling the kettle black,
yeah, most white Southerners. Ebonics really is just a Southern dialect, not really a black dialect or a white dialect. It's a Southern dialect.
Yeah.
And there's no real such thing as speaking white. It's just speaking proper. There's, proper speech. And there's
Yeah, but
not
we
proper.
see, we would make fun of Southern whites, but they are not listening. They're all busy on the Jerry Springer show, so we don't have, what's the point,
All right, and also I'd like to say one thing. When I went to Publix, there was a girl named Unique, and I can't even remember the spelling because it was like something like U-N-I-Q-U-E.
Probably E-U-N-I-C-H. Have a great day, pal.
All right, you too.
I'll leave it there to you. What do you say? Okay, we have an open line in Broward, 5670560. I guess that's what it's all about, diversity. Do your thing, make up some stupid name, and there you go. And we can all sit back and laugh at you.
I want to change mine.
Yeah, how about changing the spelling, okay? How about getting with the program? Mr. I was lived in Cuba for 5 minutes.
It was written on my birth certificate.
What?
That's how it was written.
You know something? I don't think that most people, as you go through life, will say, oh, by the way, can I check your birth certificate to make sure that that's the way your name was spelt on there?
I like that spelling better. It makes more sense.
I don't like that name spelling better with a J, okay?
Well, since I'm going to change it, it doesn't matter.
Jorge. That's how it's really pronounced, but it's not Jorge, by the way, for those of you going out there. It's Jorge is how it's pronounced in Espanol, which is a disgusting, guttural-sounding, grotesque, but it kind of like fits in there with a foreskin. Okay, here's Sunrise. Hello.
Neil, how you doing?
Great.
I think the names that these people come up with are related to their diet. Because if you eat enough barbecued, drink enough malt liquor,
eat enough watermelon,
enough fried chicken,
yes,
you're sitting on the pot, and it sounds like, Anita.
Okay. What did he say? Something about too much bad pot is what I think he said.
Yeah, man.
Okay, we have an open line in Broward, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Oh, see, not that there are any stereotypes in here. I bet you there are probably plenty of black folks in this town don't eat no watermelon or fried chicken. Oh, and by the way, when you go to the Emerald Coast, you love the fact that they do have both all kinds of chicken, including fried chicken, and watermelon. How do you like that? No, seriously, they do. You don't have to be black to like watermelon. I do like watermelon, as a matter of fact. I love watermelon. Except it's all, spitting out the seeds. It's just a waste of time spitting out the seeds, although when you got a lot of practice spitting out. It's a piece of cake. Here's a mobile in Little Havana. Hello.
Yeah, I always spit personally, but
I believe it.
Listen, Neil, I saw your buddy the other day on TV, Al Goldstein, at the
another rerun, another one of those crappy reruns about his fantasies about him and me. Oh God, I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot ugly stick. I think somebody beat me to it.
And Neil, in closing, the weirdest black person's name I've ever heard is Oprah.
Yeah, which does spell Harpo backwards. And have a great day. Yeah, like we're supposed to be Harpo production. Well, what is this story with her? I don't want to get. We're not attacking black people today. All I mentioned way back early in the show today was something about Keyshawn, and the fact that name just irritates the living daylights out of me. I don't know what it is. There's a lot of names that are freakier than that, but there's something about that one particular name that just drives the right out of my brains, or right into my brains. Keyshawn. Hey, Keyshawn. It's just a bad name. It'd be a bad name. Yes.
1,400 and there's nobody there.
If you don't stop complaining so much, Chris, $1,400. And didn't I just give the address again? And there's nobody there. We raised $1,400. We got 35 minutes to go. We could probably get close to $2,000 there today if we get your ass in gear up there in Coral Springs and stop playing hard to get. All you folks with the big bucks. Chevron Station corner, the southeast corner of University and Royal Palm. The big QAM van is there. Look for Chris and Lou. And we got Dolphin T-shirts. We got stuff to give you. You give us your money. We got the best Neil CDs and cassettes and T-shirts, and a good time will be had by all. I think we're doing swimmingly well. It's by far and away the best endeavor of the whole thing so far. And he's still bitching up there. 126 at 560 WQM.
Neil? God?
Starting from her feet, you run your tongue up her thigh.
All right.
You get her looped and moist in case she's just a little tight.
Okay.
Then you make the move that makes her feel alright. And then you swirl around and swirl around from left to right. Put her in position for the full attack.
Oh!
Her ankles by her ears as you push her legs back. Now she's ready to go. Time to give her a stab. That's what I call falling abroad.
Starting from her feet, you run your tongue up her thighs. You'll get her looped and moist in case she's just a little tight.
Yeah.
Then you make the move that makes her feel alright.
And then you swirl around and swirl around from left to right.
Pull her in position for a full attack. Her ankles by her ears as you push your legs back.
Now she's ready to go. Time to give her a stab. And that's what I call falling abroad. It's better than your head when you gotta get off.
131 at 560 WQAM. A little bit of a rhyming problem in there somewhere, but hey, everything else seemed to fit. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Neil.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Neil, I'll donate 200 hours to your cause if we name the jerk from that newspaper. Give him a name.
What jerk? Which
you
one?
know, the guy that writes about you.
Oh, Buddy Nevins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's give him a good name.
He's an asshole. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Okay, we have an open line at Broward, 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. That's right, we need more statues, more monuments, more tributes to Wayne. That's what we need. Lots more sucking up to big good daddy Wayne. That's what we need. Anybody else that tries to do something good in this town, let's just rip them an ass because we know that really underneath it, they're just corrosive. I love that word. Corrosive talk show host Neil Rogers.
Oh, God.
Thank you so much, buddy, for lighting a fire under my ass and getting me really motivated to get to the 100 grand total, which we will. Which otherwise I might have just sat back and said, well, we'll do the best we can and whatever. So thank you so much, Buddy Nevins, you little piece of walking turd you. He's an asshole. Here's a mobile in Deerfield Beach. Hello. Mobile in
Neil?
Deerfield. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I had two names. I went to school with a kid named Cash Register,
Oh, no.
spelled K-A-S-H.
Oh, God.
And also a brother and sister named Brent and Holly, and their last name was Wood. It was bad.
It'd be bad.
I felt real bad for them.
Now, these were white people.
Yeah, the Brent and Holly were, yep.
Oh, man.
Cash was the fastest black kid that we had in our school.
There you go. Okay, rings a bell with me. Thank you, sir. Cash Register, X-Ray Hip, God Sham God, IP Freely. We have an open line in Broward, 567-0560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Neil.
Yes.
My lady, before I got married, worked for Georgia Social Services, and she used to keep a list of the most ridiculous names.
Mm-hmm.
Twins, Formica and Dinette. Now, another set of twins.
No!
Yes.
Oh!
Another set of twins, gonorrhea and syphilis.
No way.
They said it sounded French. Now, here's one I picked up, Fort Lauderdale News. This is so sad, but I just had to laugh my head off. Little colored baby with AIDS, Lavoris. Little baby Lavoris.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for whatever you just said, I think. We have an open line at Broward, 567-0560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Yes?
1560.
See, there you go, 1560. That's a nice number, 1560. I think I used to work at some station that was 1560 on a radio dial. Maybe it was WTPS in Kalamazoo. Was that 1560? 100 years ago, which is now WBUK, Country K, I think, if it's still on the air. Those were the days, baby, in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Oh! What a great town that is and was. Until they took that Shakey's Pizza off West Ninja Avenue. What a great... Boy, we love Shakey's. And that's the great thing when you're running a rock station like we were up there. All you got to do is they call up and, hey, can we hear the Stones? Whatever you want, just send some pizzas over. And they would say, okay. And they did. Used to like Shakey's Pizza. Whatever happened to them besides they went out of business? Just like whatever happened to Godfathers. Huh? See, that speaks volumes on the back, because I think they're still in business. They're from Omaha, is the home headquarters of Godfathers. And they tried it down here, and I used to rave. In fact, there was a friend of mine, I wish he was a friend, Javier, on Sunset down in Kendall. Remember the Godfathers down there?
Not down there.
On Sunset, out by where I live, near 107th Ave. And Javier, when I worked at WNWS of all places, which was an old fogey station, but nevertheless, I remember he came to the station one day. Javier, come back, Javier. Oh, he's probably old and ugly now. But at any rate, that was a great, great place. That was a great chain. Godfathers, like each pizza weighed about like 30 pounds. And they had like the Mexican or the taco pizza, whatever. I think they were the first ones that really came up with all the real funky different kinds of thick pizzas that were like a real pie. Not just like a thin, like a hair pie, but like a thick, like a real pie.
With the cheese on top.
Yeah, extra cheese. You know about that. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I got a couple of names for you.
Yes.
Ahmad Rashad.
Now, what was his name originally?
I don't even know.
No, seriously. His original name was like, somebody will call. I mean, I'm sure Joe Costello knows.
And a couple of years ago, there was a guy in the NBA named Tree Rollins.
Yeah.
Remember him?
Oh, yeah, he's akin to Tree Crawford, our engineering
real
department.
big black guy.
Right. A big black guy named Tree.
When I was in school.
In fact, there used to be two in the family, but once he was born, there was Tree.
When I was in school, I knew this girl, dark-complected. Her first name was Bay. Her middle name was King. And like Susan Powder? That was her last name.
Soda.
It was baking powder.
Oh, my God. All right.
All right, Neil.
Have a great day, pal. A lot of sick people out there, yes?
Was it Bobby Moore?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. Ahmad Rashad, that wasn't his name. Bobby Moore. His name was, come on. All these guys, all these hotshots that changed their name, like Lou Alcindor became Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, which Howard Cosell would never have been as big if he didn't have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Muhammad Ali to hawk a China kebab. I mean, other than the fact that he was arrogant and egotistical, what the hell was wrong with Howard Cosell, who, was the first one to talk about the jockocracy in the term? No, he stole that from somebody else, the term. But he talked about it. He unmasked it. He told us that Frank Gifford was a douchebag. And he was way ahead of his time in seeing exactly what was coming down the pike. And here you got it today, baby. They've destroyed it. They've taken the fun out of it. They've killed it.
It was Bobby Moore.
Bobby Moore? Like I said, I think it was Bobby Moore. Here's Miami Beach. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you got the lines jammed with this name thing
They're
today.
smoking it, yeah.
Yeah, by the way, first of all, happy Chuka.
Yeah, man.
And back to you.
And I got 5 names for you. Okay.
5?
Okay, yeah. The first one, I used to work in a bank. She was Lakita, L-A-K-I-T-A.
Lakita.
Then we have now 2 sets of brother names. The first set they're Turkish. Ersin and Ergin. Ersin was E-R-S-U-N, and their last name is Yulush, or Ersin Yuluk, something like that.
Ersin and Ergin, that sounds Swedish.
Yeah.
Finish. It does.
Ersin and Ergin.
Ersin and Ergin, yeah, it sounds like an old Swede, probably anti-Semitic too, yes.
And the other one, no, they were cool. And the other one was, now I don't know, I know one of them was I'm God. Like, what did he go around telling people? Hey, I'm God. And then his brother, I don't remember, it was something God, by God. Yeah, it was God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was something, Neil God, by God.
Neil God!
Uh-huh.
That's all I got, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, and God bless you and have a happy whatever you're celebrating, okay? And don't too much over the holidays. We have an open line today. This is really, we touched the raw nerve here today. Do I detect a little bit of racism in the middle of this? Do I detect it? Uh-huh. Too bad. No, it's not racism. It's just that we be saying that in fact, I think that made the point. I'm tickled to death that I brought this up again for the 200th time. And this is the only time we've ever had a response like this on it. I brought it up many times in the past, and maybe they were too embarrassed to talk about this. But it's like driving a wedge. It's like driving a big, fat, thick wedge right down the middle between people who like have real names and people who don't, whether they're white, black, or whatever. If you want to make up some wild, crazy, stupid names, then go ahead. But the rest of us will laugh at you and think you're an asshole, and probably in some cases be right.
1640.
What's wrong with that? It's zooming up there. Like I said, we got 20 minutes to get close to $2,000, and we got 1,640 there at the Chevron station on the southeast corner of University and Royal Palm in Coral Springs. 1640. Never in our wildest dreams did we ever anticipate that we could do this. So we can get close to another $2,000 today up there. Are we going to hear from Carol, do you think, at Center 1 today?
No. I think the fax machine is on the threats, even though it seems to be working on this end. I'm at a loss.
Well, what do you mean by that?
I mean,
but it's not receiving. Maybe it's only sending, it's not receiving. It's not sending, it's receiving, it's very bad. Well, I'm sure she could probably call you, too. You know what I'm saying? 20 till 2 at 560 WQM.
This is a bunch of hooey. All right.
I took a call from Ebonics. They said the future be bright for me. Now I can't get no job, 'cause I don't got no literacy. I was talking like an old Negro. Oh! Ebonics taught me how this way. Now I can't do nothing, but my heritage say that's okay. Change my name to Shoot Road. Drive a deuce and a quarter, ain't a Cadillac. I remember when I was stealing all the white man's cars, hanging outside the Belvedere bar, crying the blues about poverty. White devils got no job for me, and I thought Ebonics would give my life a chance. Now I got to go and sell more crack cocaine, crack cocaine, crack cocaine, crack cocaine, crack cocaine, crack cocaine, crack cocaine. Crack cocaine, crack cocaine. Lordy, what a boring song. Ebonics makes me sound funny. Got nothing to do with literacy. Now I got to make more money. Labor food sounds good to me. I got plenty of nothing. Ebonics ain't getting me anywhere. Maybe I'll mug an old white bitch, steal a purse and full of hair. Then I'm gonna take some money, my stereo and a Frigidaire. I remember when I was stealing all the white man's cars, hanging outside the Belvedere bar, crying the blues out poverty. White devils got no job for me, and I thought Ebonics would give my life a change. Now got to go and sell more crack cocaine, 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 crack cocaine.
147 at 560 WQM. I can't believe this Coral Springs thing with that Center 1 totals. How's Halcyon doing, by the way? Anybody seen her?
No.
$1,760 with 13 minutes to go. We could do $2,000 in Coral Springs today. Oh! That would be a freaking miracle, baby. Even more exciting than the Virgin Mary appearing on the side of the First National Bank building in Peoria. And what does that say on there? Oh, the Mickey Rourke lady, you think that is? Oh, it probably is. Well, let's get rid of her right away. Hello, is this the Mickey Rourke lady?
Officer Prince.
Yeah, it is, huh? Oh, now, how do you like that? See, we got a much clearer, better copy of that, okay, right in our DCS over here.
Officer Prince wanted to get his rocks off.
Yeah, see, there you go. So save the material for us, okay, sweetheart? Here's Tamarack. Hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, I am.
I have a name of a guy I work with. His name is Christ Ecstasy.
Christ?
Ecstasy.
Ecstasy.
And it's right on his birth certificate.
Great, okay, thank you.
Okay, bye.
Okay, how about his brother, Christ Killer? We have an open line at Dade 1 at Broward, 5670560. Don't forget, we got a few minutes here. If you're in the area there by the Chevron Station University in Royal Palm, on the southeast corner there in Coral Springs, $240 more, and we'll make $2,000 today. That should make the headlines on the front page of both newspapers tomorrow, right?
No.
Come on. Coral Springs puts itself on the map. Coral Springs is more than just gangs and more than just a bunch of snooty people and more than just a bunch of Nazis at Taravella High School trying to whip all those little kids into shape and make them obedient little goose-steppers. Coral Springs is more than that, and someday we'll figure out what it is. Here's a mobile in Pompano. Hello.
Hey, Neil. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Happy holiday.
And back to you.
3 things. Godfather's Pizza, man, was like one of the best.
Wasn't that great?
Yeah, there was one on 441 just north of Taft Street. I think the Salvos is in there now.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, that was a great, man. I mean, like you said,
something,
man,
when the day that Godfathers left this town, when they packed up and all the franchises closed down.
I don't know why.
That was the last gasp we had in this place. When the Famous closed and Pumpernicks all closed. But when Godfathers moved out, that's the day that we knew we had lost it.
I don't know why, because I used to eat there a lot. I mean, used to eat
it was
for like
the one in Kendall was always packed. They used to do a land office business. I don't know what that was all about.
That's what I can understand it.
I seem to recall that there was some kind of a scandal involving some of the guys with the franchises, especially that one down in Kendall, and there was like a whole money scandal thing involved with it.
That was like I don't know if you liked it. Was that Bojangles Chicken? And they were down here, and there was a big scam, and then they closed down. But anyway.
Oh, I didn't know there was a scam. I know they closed down.
There was some type of, I don't know, there was some type of thing there too. But the pizza was great, man.
Bojangles should never have closed down if they just knew all the Jamaicans were coming in.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
And the Haitians.
Second thing, upon your recommendation, I did try the Tyson strips.
Yes?
I like them.
They're great.
The wife made some the other night, had some rice with it, and she put some of that Lee and Perrien's like steak sauce.
Right.
Oh, man.
You can do anything with those. You can chop up some onion in there. You put it in the microwave for 3 minutes. It says 4. Put it in there for 3. Then you take it out. You chop up some onion in there. You put some of that grated cheese to melt on there. You pop it back in for another minute. And I'm telling you, it's great. And it comes also in the bag. Did you get it in the bag or in the little box?
I got it in the bag.
Yeah, in the bag you got 18 ounces in there, which is a lot.
Well, we used half the bag. I still got another half a bag left.
Right.
I just need to find some papers.
And it's got the seal thing on there, the Ziploc thing, which is great. So you just whip out as much as you want to make, and you put on.
Pretty good.
It's great.
It's like you and the fish food, man. I mean, that's why I listen to you. You give me such good tips.
Yeah. Well, this only this is a lot better for us fat folks and diabetics to stay alive.
Yeah, I know. One other thing. Got a bunch of guys that work with us. They're Haitians, and one guy's got a name. His first name is Forrestal. He doesn't work there no more, but there's another guy that works there. His name is Dodo.
It's what?
D-O-D-O.
Dodo?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out, what possessed him? Like, look at the little Dodo. When he was born, what? And it's D-O-D-O. I call him Doo-Doo.
Beauty.
Neil, could you, on that note, could you play some farting sounds for me?
Religious cults have become a part of history.
Just
James Jones, Charles Manson, Koresh, and now
this is
the man known...
What's the other one called? Is it called Do-Re? What is that thing called? Oh, there it is.
Do, the man who runs our cult.
Yeah, maybe that's who that guy is. Oh, he wanted to hear what? That. Okay, 151 at 560 WQM. Are we going to make that $2,000 over there? Well, I guess they'll stick around till we get to $2,000, or we'll want to know why, right?
1840.
Woo! 1840, just about blow my old socks off, which I don't wear any socks. Maybe that's why. 1840, up in Coral Springs for Center One today. This has been the greatest goddamn thing since Halava.